Night Owls.
Turn on Night Owls.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And now, the forerunner to Facebook, where your words tell 1,000 Instagrams. Use your phone for making that call. And get talking across the northeast, please. Because this is Night Owls with Alan Robson.
Welcome, everybody. Alan Robson with you. It is, of course, the Night Owls. And whatever you want to talk about, that's what we do. You ring us now. We take your telephone number. We will ring you back. But do it now, and you'll be in the queue, and we'll get to you as quickly as we possibly can. Had bags of room last week. We'll have bags of room this week. So pick up your telephone and call us now. If you want to talk about stuff. Now, we're concentrating a bit on the whole toy thing. It has to be said. The whole toy thing. So let us get busy and tell me your toy stories. And the first thing that I wanted to mention was the toy this week that everybody's trying to buy and it's not in store is the JJ Baby thing. Now, Hollywood McShane's been sending out pictures of this little baby thing. It is a baby doll, the JJ Baby doll. I don't get it at all, but then again, I didn't get Cabbage Patch dolls either. If you're wondering what that is, it's not somebody flashing in front of the camera. That did look like the kind of photograph that people send to women. However, it was right across my face. Take that. However, so what dolls, what toys, what things, when you were little, or maybe recently for your own kids, what toys did you have to get? Every year there's one toy that sells out. A couple of years ago, it was that carrot from one of the shops. Remember the carrot that they did the Christmas advert around? People were going, I think it was it Aldi? And everybody was going, or Lidl, was one or the other. They went to one of these stores, desperate to buy a big, cuddly carrot. So what was it that you had to have when you were a kid? The thing you must have or you must get, either for you as a child or for your children, or alternatively, maybe my Uncle Bill always used to have and had to have Old Spice. He was old, and it's probably the only Spice he got, in fairness, but he had to have Old Spice every year. If you bought him anything else, it was, I thought I'd try this for you. And had to be Old Spice. So the must-haves, I want to know the must-haves. And conversely, we need to know the must-haven'ts as well. Because let's face it, at Christmas, there are many bad gifts. If anybody gives you anything, you're always taught to act thrilled and put that fake, I've waited for this since I was 3.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, yeah, because you didn't see anything. I was always grateful for everything I really got, in all honesty.
So what was it that's left you blighted then?
It was a perfume, like a rectangular wooden box.
Uh-huh.
And it had about 12 small perfumes in.
Right.
They were French.
Mm-hmm.
They all smelled the same. Disgusting. Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Dad. I love it.
Oh, that's the thing, because if you make it sound, if you're convincing enough, oh, well, she loved that one we got her last year.
Oh, they were horrible. I mean, they were tiny little glass, beautiful little glass kind of perfume things.
Provided you didn't wear them. That's the thing. So, what were the must-haves? Do you remember Cabbage Patch dolls? The only reason I remember them is I work with a couple of people who look a bit like them. But how about the whole Cabbage Patch phenomenon where you got a birth certificate? I can also remember Tamagotchi Do you remember Tamagotchi? The only thing that could disagree with you and have a hissy fit and did all kinds of weird stuff. 0191 488 3188. The must-have things over the years, the kind of toys that you used to play with, or maybe got your children. When I was little, one of the must-haves, I never got one, but a lot of other kids got the chopper bikes. Oh, chopper bikes. They were like the Harley Davidson with extended forks of the bike world. Do you know what I mean? When they suddenly appeared, and everybody looked big and gangly on them. So tell me, across history, we want to know all of those kind of stories for you. And sometimes you get, well, frankly, just the wrong gift this time of year.
I bought a steam mop for all lasses on me in present. Do you think she'll like it?
She'll probably stick it where the sun doesn't shine and then press steam. Tell me your stories. We want all of them. There have been many really bad gifts in their time.
The worst thing that someone had ever brought me back from holiday, and it was my son. He'd actually been staying in Japan for 3 years because he was a teacher over there. And
now, do you know, I've got lots of reasons to really dislike this bloke.
Such over there. He said, "Mum, you're going to love these wasabi flavour," because he knows I like hot things.
Oh, right.
So I opened them and took one out. It felt like polystyrene. When you bit into it, it tasted like polystyrene, and it was bright green. I mean, bright green.
Right.
Had a bit of a chew, and it was bearable. I would just say bearable. It was a case of I would only have one and I wouldn't have any more. But all of a sudden, my tonsils kicked in, and there was no way they were letting them anywhere past. My God, the heat!
Hot.
I've never felt heat like it in my mouth. It was awful. It was awful. So up it came. So yeah, that was definitely the worst. It was awful.
Projectile wasabi. I mean, come on, that's not what you want. No, it's not great for Christmas. So just tell me the things that worked out, the things that didn't work out, the things that you never want to see again at Christmas. 0191 488 3188. Tons to talk about tonight. Pick up your telephone. Let's get busy. Would love to hear from you. Whatever it is you want to talk about, there's other things too. I also want to find out about dirty tricks. Things that you've done to other people or things that you have had done to you. If you've been following our ghosty habnabs on a Friday evening, Facebook and YouTube, you will know that Kenny caught me out by leaping out from behind a car and almost giving me a heart attack. And I got him back with a packet of things called fiery jacks. They're the things you throw on the pavement and they explode into flame. Well, I just know for a fact that we're heading towards another practical joke. But what kind of things have you done in your time? The government trying to talk down another lockdown with a possibility of this new variant. You got to remember that usually for every major virus that goes around, there's about 100 variants. So don't think that this is any surprising thing. That's what happens to viruses. They mutate in various ways. I just hope the governments are not going to use them as an excuse again. And also, this wind, blimey, did it affect your house? I mean, just from the area where I am in the borders, trees down, tails off, power cuts. Concert, on the other hand, up the mountains, it looks like a scene from Frozen up there, but I'll let that go. And the Great Wind of Arwen is what it was called, the Storm Arwen. Does sound like Lord of the Ringsy, isn't it? And from the west came the Great Wind of Arwen. Yeah, it would fit, wouldn't it? Fit pretty good. So what happened to you and your neighbourhood? Bit skiddy on the way in today, especially on the estates. Main road's pretty good. How's it where you are? 0191 488 3188. I also see that women are refusing COVID jabs while they're pregnant. Are they right to do so? Gordon Ramsay cries seeing his daughter do a dancey on Strictly. Men crying. Where do you stand on the whole men crying thing? And also, there's a thing called shy bowel syndrome. Don't know whether you've ever heard of shy bowel syndrome. It means you can't poo if people are listening. And if you've ever been to the airport and needed to poo, that's a nightmare if you got shy. If your bowels are shy, I'm not going to poo while he's in there. You got to try and wait till there's nobody on either side before you open the bomb doors, so to speak. 01914 488 3188. Tons of things to talk about. Going to take our first call in a second. So get that cracking. Male violence against women is on the increase, which is disgusting. Has it happened to you? How does it come about? Or do women bring it upon themselves? That's usually the way that people try and weasel out of it. And we mentioned Brexit last week. Only 18% of people who are Brexiteers think that Brexit is a good thing. 82% are regretting it now, which is frankly a little bit late. But we're going to have to live with it. The nation voted. You follow it through. Simple as. Jarrow Paranormal is plugged in. David and Julie. Talking about great Christmas toys, he said, Alan, on Christmas Day, I got an empty Action Man box. My father said the Action Man was a deserter. Best wishes, David and Julie, top class. 01914 88 3188. Get your calls in. We have our first caller waiting right now. Let's go and talk to Emma, who is with us, I think, in Seaton Sluice. Hello, Emma.
Hi, Alan. Thanks for having us on the show.
No problem. What can we do for you?
I'm just calling in because I'd really like to publicise a really unique opportunity that we've done at work, actually. So I work for a national charity, United Response, and we support adults with learning disabilities, autism and mental health.
Yeah.
And we are releasing, or we have released a single in the hope of trying to get a Christmas #1.
Oh, brilliant.
And I really wanted to share it with everybody because it's just been such a phenomenal experience. Something really different that we've done as an organisation.
First of all, who's it by? Is it by you? Is it by a group of your people? Did you bring a celeb in? Tell me all about it.
So the idea actually started from me earlier on in this year, where I kind of thought it would be really good for us to get a single. And initially I thought, let's just do a cover version.
Right.
And so I spoke to a couple of other friends and colleagues at work, and they said, yeah, let's do it. And so I kind of got a little project team together, and we recruited people we support and other members of staff from United Response together to think and plan about what we were going to do. And one of our support staff, Andrew Bowen, actually wrote the song for us. So it's a brand new song that's been written specifically for the project.
Great.
And so that's where we are now. And through 2021, we've been collaborating across the organisation. Like I say, we are national, so it's been a bit of a challenge sort of coordinating people from down in Devon and in York and up here in the Northeast to bring everything together to get the vocal recordings. And we've also released a music video that sits alongside that as well. So,
what's it called? You haven't given us the title yet.
So we are called United in Song, and the song is called Dance With You.
Dance With You. Can you send us a copy of it so we can play it for you?
I have, yes. So we've sent you a copy, and people can also go and stream it on any of the major streaming sites. It's available now, and the video is available up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, which is United Response. And then if you search for the Dance With You video, you can see it there.
I have got it, and I'm going to play it at the end of our little chat. So the bottom line is, give me the name of the man who wrote it again.
It's Andrew Bowen. So
Andrew
he's
Bowen.
So he was a support worker at the time, and he's now a job coach in York. And in his spare time, he's also in his own little band as well called One Lotter, and does a little, quite a bit of stuff outside of work.
Oh, that's good.
And he's just a really talented guy. And I was talking to him about the project, and kind of he was telling me about the background of the song, and he said that the message really was around keeping together through the pandemic. So within our organisation, we had to really adapt how we were supporting some of the most vulnerable people in our society, and that kind of meant having to adapt and use new technology. So we offered a lot of support through virtual activities, Zoom activities, that type of thing.
Because it's been a nightmare. Sitting in a chair like this, talking to people, the one thing that I noticed that during the pandemic, everybody that needed help seem to get less help than they required. It's been a horrific time, because a lot of people that have issues of one sort or another, and you'll know this better than I do, they're very keen on consistency in their life, and all of a sudden everything changed and there was nothing they could do about it, and it really did cause problems for so many people.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. That consistency is really, really important. And, that's one of the things that we were able to provide through the virtual activities where people weren't able to go and meet in person. And I think that, the underlying message of the song is sort of being able to keep in touch, whether it be literally or metaphorically speaking. And I think, what Andy said, he said, what this does show is that we can achieve so much when we actually all just dance together. And it's just a lovely message.
No,
and
it
just
is.
shows.
It sounds great. And as I say, we'll give it a blast. And the idea is, if enough people like it and download it, we get it to number one for Christmas, and hopefully you can make a nice little sum for United Response.
Well, that is our aim. And I think when I set off on this idea, it was one of those, you have to shoot for the moon. And even if you don't get there, you do end up in the stars. So I think it's just, we had to do it. And I'm just so proud and privileged to have been involved with it, and everybody's just been amazing. So yeah, please do go and stream it on any of the major streaming sites. Go and watch it on YouTube.
Right.
It's on our Facebook page as well, which is United Response, and you can find that. And we're hoping to fundraise as much as we can for United.
So if you're looking for it at home, it is Dance With You, United in Song. And we're going to share that with you. Just a big thanks to you and all of your people, Emma, because during the thin times when emergency response wasn't going out, when people were, realistically, many of them were just felt as if they were left to their own devices after being cared for to a degree. Prior to that, you guys were there throughout, so we appreciate it. Thank you, and thanks to you a lot for keeping the kettle boiling. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Emma.
No worries. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye-bye.
No worries. Bye-bye. So how nice is that? There is Emma. If you want to know what that sounds like, well...
Never feel you crazy, nothing's going your way. Everything you're losing started today. Never time to break out and taking time out for fun. Never found the needle making hay in the sun. But there's one thing when days are slow. Take my hand, something you should know. When I dance with you, little by little we fly. Now that we're moving, walls don't seem so high. When I dance with you, maybe just maybe it's time. Lay on this mask with my painted smile.
So there you go, just a flavour of Dance With You, United in Song. So if that's your bag, make sure you go out there and grab some. Meanwhile, we are Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. My name's Alan Robson. Really, we want you to call us right now. We mentioned Greatest Hits because we got some. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vane Tempest Hall. We are here in Durham City, outskirts of really fantastic place, lovely people behind it. But the reason we're here more than any other is a tremendous history. That's my thing, as you know. And secondly, tales of hauntings. And a lot of spiritual groups have been here already. And look at that tower. Light her up, Kelly. How beautiful is that? Vane Tempest Hall. The Vane Tempests, very, very wealthy family, lords of the manor, so to speak. Beyond that, that's their crest. And the date of the building, 1865. Why is it here? Well, this was a hall built for the 2nd County Durham Militia, also called North Durham militia and volunteers, and they, in 1745, a lot earlier than this, the French threatened, like Hitler did later on, the French threatened to invade us. Right. So they said, we're going to have to raise militias across the country, because if the French invade, like the northeast coast, the army from essentially the south wouldn't be able to protect the north. So we're going to have militias. Now, a lot of castles at that time had their own kind of armies. So the militia was essentially created to do battle, and they did, in a thing called the 7 Years' War. And I bet you've not really heard of it.
I haven't.
7 Years' War. The 7 Years' War was the very first ever global conflict. Right. You know, there'd been loads of wars between Spain and England, France and England, England and the Ottoman Empire. There'd been loads of different wars, but Britain had an empire. So the whole empire was at war. And the French had an empire with colonies in Africa, in Asia, all over the place. So it was the first time that all those countries fought one another, because it was the very first ever global conflict. And kind of like what we used to, you remember when we used to go fighting other kids, other gangs?
You always fought the next estate.
Next estate, you'd fight the next estate. But how many times would it happen that you would go and fight them, everybody would have a bloody nose and a bull slip and a cauliflower ear, and then at the end of it, we'd all walk away saying, we didn't offshore them, and they're walking away going, we didn't offshore them. And that's exactly what the 7 Years' War was. The 7 Years' War, nobody won, but both sides went away saying,
bragging,
we showed them. So it was a complete waste of human life. However, this magnificent building, and please share this footage, because you're going to learn so much tonight and a lot of bloody history. And of course, you can win one of our trusty Night Owl badges waiting there for you. So please do share it across the world. We'd like everybody to know what we're up to. But you got to remember, the militia here was formed. It fought in the American Revolutionary War, where America broke free of Britain. Yeah. Now, for those of you that are not sure of your history, Last of the Mohicans film, British, right, and Americans fighting. Mel Gibson in The Patriot, great film,
great movie.
English fighting the Americans. It was that war, okay? Then they fought in the French Revolutionary War. Wow, getting a little bit of activity already. How about that? So, fought the French Revolutionary War, which was the war leading up to the French Revolution. Then after the French Revolution, this militia, people from our own backyard, our fathers, our ancestors, our great-grandfathers, fought in the Napoleonic War on the side of the Duke of Wellington against Napoleon. And at the end of that war, when Napoleon was defeated and he was sent to the Isle of Elba, when he escaped from Elba, because they'd stood down the militia, they sent everybody home, said, we don't need you anymore, we've beaten the French, job done, job's a good one, probably they would have said.
I would have thought.
However, then Napoleon fled from Elba to kick it all off again. So they said, whoa, quick, get the militia back together again. So they pulled it back together. Just shows you how important it was. The difference between winning and losing, they felt, with the militias, not just this one, because back in the 1700s, the militia that was here used to be based at Raby Castle, down the road. 23, and the militia here had 23 officers, 16 sergeants, 16 drummers, and 386 fighting men. And I remembered all the numbers.
You did well there,
I'm crap with numbers, so I'm very proud of myself. But come on, let's get ourselves
I've got to say, I love your shoes tonight.
What my
they are cool.
American independence, you say? I told you.
That's what I thought when you were talking about that. You see,
revolution. There you go. Yeah. Let's get back.
Stars and stripes.
Absolutely. But this is just look at it. My goodness, how come the people here aren't singing about this place? And the fact that there's no clock.
I was going to say it's clockless.
Is a mystery to a lot of people.
Isn't that crazy that that's been put there for that now? For some reason or other, they haven't put that in. I wonder why.
And I tell you, while we're out here, because I don't think we'll be coming back again, we should come down here. because there's a few things here. Now, at the back of this building, look at it, what a place.
It's massive, isn't it?
It is absolutely.
There's Gwen and Ted.
Oh, there's Gwen and Ted waiting for us inside. Just see if anything's flashing. Come on, Gwen and Ted. Do your thing, man.
Ah.
Now, why are we here? All of the research that I've done on Vane Tempest Hall, and you can go online and you can have a look, and you'll not find very much because you've really got to dig deep into the militia and the people who fought with the militia to find out where they fought, and I'll tell you all the stories across the night. But this place here, and I think just around this corner is the building that we told you about that was the mortuary. Right. You know, the morgue, yeah. That's the small, it's a small little tea room now. It's beautiful. Why was it a mortuary? Because it was on the ground floor. This place was briefly, and I'll tell you more about it when we head towards it. Smallpox broke out in County Durham, and it was a killer, and a lot of people were dying. Now, around this area, poor people were not allowed to go to any of the hospitals. No National Health Service back then, you know. The poor people were snookered. They couldn't do it. Couldn't go and see anybody. The rich people could go to hospital and they'd be tended or put into a private ward. However, here, and I've got some dark stories about it, a lot of people died. Poor people were coming and just planting themselves and refusing to go, and they hung around. And if they died, they were brought supposedly to the mortuary, but the people in the mortuary didn't want anything to do with smallpox victims. They thought they would get smallpox. So they put a mask on, laid them out, let the public come and say, oh, there's our Billy. And then they'd take them into a pit, which was 2 minutes from the mortuary. Now, I think it's this.
Yeah.
I can't think of another, because, you know, you come down there with the bodies on a cart.
I'll tell you how weird this is, though. When you stand on here, you're sinking. I was just thinking that, Tony.
Look at it.
That's really weird, isn't it?
Put a camera on that.
Look at that, man. It's like a really thick carpet. You're sinking in.
It's really.
That is the strangest thing. Is it? As if there's a mattress underneath. That's what it's like,
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
But
if
this is, but you see what it could be. If you think about it, we don't know how many died due to smallpox.
Ben Robson's Night
We know
Owls,
there was a
the
lot.
phone
We don't know
that
how.
gets you talking.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Here's Mick. Me and a pal used to go halfers with our paper round money. I remember those days all too well. Buy a game on cassette tape, copy it on a stereo tape deck, and then sell them at school. LOL. The good old days. You were just after my days because we didn't have the chance to copy, so we didn't have that kind of technology at all. But yeah, the way we used to make money. Well, that's a good question. How did you make money first? Very first money you made, how did you do it? With me, it was with sixpences, which is, I suppose, 5p's they'd be now. And what you'd do is you'd go up to a wall and you'd chuck in the nearest one to the wall, there's 5 kids all chucking their respective sixpences, 5p's at the wall. The nearest one to the wall won all of the 5p's. And I got really good at that. I was a bit of a villain for taking everybody's dinner money. But he used to sell cool tapes, game tapes that you could copy on your cassette deck. Very clever. There's always been ways, little fiddles. Tell me yours if you could. And you can WhatsApp us if you want to ring in and we will call you back. The telephone number for that is 07863 431 837 07863 431 837, and we'll call you back. If you don't want to spend time on the phone, bang them through us that way. Makes things a little bit easier for you. Don't forget, we also have our competition coming up too. But let us talk to Ben, who I think is in Wallsend. Hello, Ben.
Hiya there, how are you?
I'm good, mate. What can we do for you?
Well, really, it was just contacting the show just to get the word out there about organ donation and how important it is.
I know exactly what this is about. I got an email about this, I think, from Trish. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's my mum.
Your mum. Well, let me just read it out because it kind of will save you a little bit. Trish wrote in and she said, "Hi, my granddaughter Aria is 5.5 weeks old, that's your daughter, and is in urgent need of a heart transplant. We just want to get it out there, how important organ donation is. She's on life support and has only 10, maybe 14 days left on the machine, as babies cannot stop on them long. My son Ben and daughter-in-law Naomi are doing everything they can to get the word out there and hopefully get a heart for baby Aria. Could you please help and announce this on the radio? We need a heart ASAP." You can read their story on my daughter-in-law's Facebook page, Naomi Michaela Sutherst, Sutherst. If anybody wants to go on there now while we're chatting and have a look at the Facebook page. Blimey, what's wrong with the Ben? What's wrong with little Aria?
Well, she was born the 18th of October. She was born perfect. She was absolutely perfect. There was no problems when she was born. And it wasn't around until about 7 hours later she started showing signs of like being a bit struggling to breathe and to like even move, be a baby herself. And one of the nurses like obviously noticed, because I had to go home at the time because we weren't allowed to stay over in the hospital due to COVID. So my wife was looking after her. And she started to go blue, and then they rushed her straight to the ICU in the RVI.
Oh, my goodness.
And then everything just changed from there. They were treating her for infection to start with. Obviously, nothing was improving. They were doing countless scans, tests, absolutely anything to see what was actually wrong with her. The consultant had said at one point when we went in that she was the sickest baby in the whole entire hospital at that point, which was, terrifying. It was pretty horrible, yeah.
But right at the very beginning, being a parent and believing that, hospitals, they can do anything. They're amazing places, and yes, indeed they are.
Yeah.
But you would, at the very beginning, would think, oh, well, they'll find out what's wrong. She might need an injection or something, or she might need to be fed a certain drug, and then everything will be all right. At what point did you realize that this had the potential for absolute disaster?
Well, it was, they were treating her 24/7 as well in RVI, and it just got to the point where they didn't know what was wrong with her. They were doing tests on her heart. It seemed fine at the beginning, but then they noticed there was little bits in the scans that it wasn't functioning properly. Right. It wasn't contracting enough, squeezing the blood around her body as much. Right. So they were in contact with the Freeman Hospital, obviously throughout her treatment. So they then urged for her to get there, to obviously get transported to the Freeman, which they did. Everything was spot on. They've done it perfectly. But obviously when we got to the Freeman, they sat us down in a room. They were just talking us over what would happen as worst case scenarios and whatnot. And it was about within 10 minutes of her being there, it was worst case scenario. She got put on life support. She was on a ventilator. The machine, obviously, the ECMO machine that she's on, it does the whole work of her organs for her so that her body and heart can rest.
Right.
And obviously try to heal itself, so to speak. But it just got worse from there on.
So the bottom line is the heart's not happening. It's not able to cope and do the job. As for those people watching on screen, and I don't know whether you are or whether you're not, Ben, I got up very briefly while you were talking. I was still listening to you, so I got my headphones on, so that I could get and put on screen what I've carried around since they were very first available, which is an NHS organ donor register card, and I'm waving it again at the screen. These kind of things are the difference literally between life and death for people, because especially children, because by the time hospitals find out whether the person who's passed, and nobody wants to have to rely on someone else's misery, to save a life. But rather than waste someone's life, their life can mean something after they've gone. And that's what this is all about, the whole organ donor thing. And please think very, very carefully about it. It takes nothing. And the difference between you carrying this around with you so that if you, heaven forbid, you should lose your life, they can have a look in your wallet. There's a donor card, and they can harvest whatever they can to save as many people as they can, including little Aria. And it's an awful thing to say, but because another child would have to die for her to live. But children will die. It's a sad fact. And if they are going to pass, what greater gift could a child leave but life to another child? And that's what you're desperately hoping for now.
It is. It really is.
What happens if another heart doesn't happen within the 2 weeks? Can she go back on the machine for a bit longer? How does it work?
Well, so after the first time round she was on ECMO,
right.
She was doing fine, but then soon started to deteriorate. She's then obviously been put back on the machine again. They did say originally that she wouldn't be able to go back on the machine due to, obviously when the tubes are in your neck and whatnot, it can damage your vessels.
Sure.
So it's obviously got to that point now where she is on the last time round.
Right.
So it's now or never, basically. We've been told to expect the worst if the heart doesn't come along very soon.
It's horrible, but I have to wish you all of the best and hope that one does. And it's even suggesting it sounds wrong, but the fact is that across the country, this day there will be a child who's passed. That's life. Sadly, with life comes death, and long before their time. Let's just,
of course,
let's just think positively and hope that something comes round. I can't imagine what you feel like. I mean, how's Mum coping? How's Naomi?
Well, as well as she can. She's a lot stronger than what I am. It's not a nice thing to go through. I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy. It's something that no parent should ever go through. And as a young parent, I would just urge to everyone out there, just put pride away and become a donor. You know what I mean? Like, I always thought to myself when I was younger, I don't want to give away my organs. You know what I mean? But until something like this happens, it totally changes your perspective on life.
No, for sure.
And I just hope to God that people can just share a story, you know what I mean? Like, just get it out there, and hopefully just that one person can see it, and hopefully, obviously, I know that it's a heartbreaking thing for another child to pass, but they could potentially save another life.
Yeah, for sure. I just can't, I don't know how you hold it together. You say she's stronger than you. I bet inside she's just shattered. I bet she just can't believe all of this. How, with respect to it all, carrying on while you don't... Parents are supposed to look after their children, obviously. It's it's what you feel. It's a natural instinct to care for them. But to be as helpless as you are in a situation like this, where there's nothing you can do that could make any difference, that must be the worst part of it all.
It's awful. Yeah. It's absolutely awful. Yeah. I wonder if I could give her my heart, that would be a dream in myself, but unfortunately, that sort of thing isn't allowed.
Well, what I'm hoping is that she's got a bit of your heart, and she'll fight until another heart comes.
She's a fighter.
Yeah.
She's done so well up to now, so well.
Yeah. That's because she's got a bit of your heart. I know it's not easy for you to realise. But bless the pair of you. Fingers crossed for the Vane. And for anybody that's thought, I don't want to get into all of that, get into all that. make a difference with your life and save someone else's. Thanks for coming on, Ben. Good luck, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. What can you do? What can you do? 0191 488 3188. You know that Ben's not the only one that would offer a heart, but it has to be that of a child. And can you think of anything sadder at Christmas? Or at any time when it's your flesh and blood? Arwen is 5.5 weeks old. She hasn't had any kind of substantive life yet. And I have faith and believe that a heart will come along. I believe it. And maybe with a little bit of positive thought from everybody else who's listening, send a little bit of love in that direction. But the best thing you can do, and I know for those of you on screen, I have waved this at you before, but I shall wave it at you again. How difficult is it to pick up from your local pharmacy or from your local GP an NHS organ donor registration card? You fill it in, put your name and address on it, so if they go online and say, oh, is he on the register or is she on the register? Yes, he is. Yes, she is. And then you can do a little bit of good. So think about it. Just please think about it. We're going to take a break. We will be back. You're on end of this on the Night Owls. Greatest Hits Radio number.
What they did in places, because we've had bodies buried in places before.
I've never experienced this before.
Look at that. Look at that. You just...
it's like marshmallow. You just
right down in it.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
But I think it's this, because you would come over there, the far corner, you'd bring the barrow down because it was... You're not going to take people very far. Apparently they dug a big pit, and I think it's this, a big circular pit, and they filled it full of tar because it would burn. Right. Then they put the bodies in, because they're too poor to have a grave. If you were rich, you were looked after, you were dressed up, and you were sent to your family tomb or crypt. But the rest, they just set fire to.
Just pile the bodies in.
Now, all of the stories of this place say, oh, it's said to be built on a pile of human bodies. It isn't. I haven't found any story. I haven't found anything that tangible that points to that. However, the story about burning them and putting that will mean that there's bodies here, but they're ash.
To be honest, they're not going to. It's going to be a secret, isn't it? If that's what they've done, they don't want to tell people about that.
No, because they're just disposing of the poor.
So it might have happened.
No, absolutely. I believe it did. And I
think it definitely must have.
Why is this as it is?
Exactly.
Because everything else has been tended. They've piled loads of rocks and stone on here. If you look at the bottom of this place here, look at all the bricks and stone.
Yeah.
Just here.
Yeah, it's just been as if don't go in there.
Absolutely, leave it alone. And again, this isn't normal, is it?
This is not normal. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
You almost feel like Carrie's going to put a hand through.
Seriously, you're just sinking right in. I've never known.
Necromancer here.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Why? I can't
get any further to show everybody.
No, can you not? Oh, go on, give it a go, Tony.
Oh, be careful.
Adventurous. There's only nettles in a huge pit of dead people.
Put a torch in though so they can see. But
slowly, can you do that?
Just, instead of, so if you do it slowly, then they can have a proper look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put my amplifier on so that everybody can hear it.
Oh,
too. Bear with me.
Is that an archway?
I think it's just this circular piece in the front, Kenny. This
part here.
It's almost like a crater. Light it up as best you can.
Right. Light it up. Here's that white stuff again.
What? It is, yes. It's with you.
Look at that, look in the beam. Can you see it?
I'm not sure if it picks it up.
Oh, look. In the beam. Is it snowing?
Is there anybody there?
It looks like it's snowing in this beam.
Speak to us.
Wait, no. Look.
Speak to us.
What the hell is that? That is the weirdest thing.
Death.
That's good.
Is there anyone here? Is there anyone buried here?
Look at that. In the beam. Can you see it in the beam?
Speak to us.
No.
Were you? Hello. Were you buried here? Yes. Yes.
This is the home
said
of
yes?
Alan Robson's Night Owls. Voice of the North.
And our next caller is Simon. He's in Peterlee. Hi, Simon.
Hey, Alan, how are you?
I'm good, mate. What you got for us all?
Well, a couple of things. I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, and I'd got COVID.
Yeah, how you doing?
And, I tested negative about a week ago.
So.
And like I said to you, I was wearing a mask and sleeping on the couch and all the rest of it.
Mm.
And on the day that I tested negative, my last tested positive.
Is that Murphy's Law? Brilliant. How's she doing? Is she all right now? Is she picking up?
Yeah, today was her first day. She tested negative. So, happy days for me. For the first time in 3 weeks, I can sleep in my own bed.
Hey, result. Now that's great. Good. I'm glad you're feeling better, man. Good.
Yeah. And you was on about how you used to make money as a kid.
Yeah, what did you do?
I used to sell JPS black cigarettes in the schoolyard. I'm not telling you how I got them.
Most people used to pinch them from parents, and if somebody came to their house, because cigarettes were really super common, especially when I was a kid, and there was always somebody, and they'd leave them on the side of the chair, and if they left them and they went to the loo or anything, one or two used to disappear, and they were good to barter with in the schoolyard, definitely.
They did. They did indeed, yeah. And you was on about Christmas presents that you got or you didn't get.
Yeah. What was it that you wanted that didn't get then?
Well, you said you wanted a chopper bike, and I'm round about the same age. But the bike that I really wanted was a rally grifter.
Oh, right. Yeah.
My brother's 4 years younger than me. He wanted a rally boxer.
Uh-huh.
So Christmas came along. My brother got a rally boxer, and I thought, yeah, champion, I've got a rally grifter. And I've got a stonky old second-hand bike with a twist grip, 3 gear, horrible blooming thing.
Oh, what a shit. Oh, that's awful, because he got exactly what he wanted. And it sounds like you got the one from that corner shop that Arkwright with Ronnie Barker used to run. That's crazy.
Yeah, something like that. And I thought, oh, right, never mind. My parents still love me. I might get that Buckaroo that I really wanted.
Oh, Buckaroo, wow.
Yeah, well, I got Kerplunk instead, and my brother got Buckaroo.
Well, you can tell which one they loved. They obviously loved him more than they loved you. That was the fact, didn't it?
Yeah, and so on Christmas Day, we were playing Buckaroo, and because, it's got the springs in the back legs, and you push them down.
Uh-huh.
Just so you click the trigger, well, I had to actually push it down further and further until it broke the spring.
Right.
Because I was that seething. I was a jealous. I don't know how old I was.
Yeah.
That must have been 70, 77, 78, something like that.
Right, yeah. It was around that time I wanted Mousetrap, but never got it.
Oh, I got that. I did
you?
like that. That was brilliant.
I was going to say, I know it's funny because I know everything's now, on screen, video games, board games are still there. And at the time, there was a game called Risk where you could conquer the world, country by country. Yeah. I wanted that as well, never got that either, but my best mate had it, so I could still enjoy playing it, but I had to play it at his house, is the thing. But I just think all of those kind of things, they leave a long-lasting impact if you don't get what everybody else has got. Do you know what I mean?
They do. And I actually had to save up my money. I worked on a farm. I did a paper round, various little jobs and bits and pieces. And I bought myself a skateboard first time. So that was first time round. And a pair of roller boots. Not the ones that you clip to the bottom of your shoes, but actual proper roller boots.
Wow, that's impressive. Right. I loved roller. I loved roller skates. It sounds like you must have lived in Victorian times, even to mention roller skates now. But I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. But nowadays, you talk to people and they kind of look at you and think, I presume you had a stick and you used to roll a barrel wheel down the street or something at the same time. It wasn't quite as far back as that.
No, not as far back as that. We did used to go down the skips to get bits of wood and crown wheels to make our bogey.
Oh, always. Brilliant. Anything else then, Simon?
Well, you just on the back of what you were saying about old school toys and that. I mean, our grandchildren, when they come round, I mean, we've actually still got domino sets, Scrabble, Snakes and Ladders and Ludo.
Great.
And they still love playing them.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely. A lady called Kelly's just come on, who's babe, and says, I love playing Buckaroo. They're long-lasting memory kind of games. You know, if you go on and you play a game on your television screen or at home, how many people are going to remember that game in 10 years' time? But everybody remembers Buckaroo and Choppers and all the rest of it. Brilliant. Happy days.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thank you for that, Simon. Great to hear from you, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye. How about all of that? 0191 488 3188. What toys did you want? Let's get into the world of the toy. And with girls' toys. When I was little, it was all dolls. And looking at what they're selling on telly, you know, Smith's Toys have got an advert where they show you all of these different games that you can play. And they've still kind of got girls playing with the little Kuka set or the little shop set. And they've got the guys playing with the trains. And it's only a matter of time before that has to become politically correct. But back in the day, that's always how it was. 0191 488 3188. Except for one of my best mates, Roger. He liked these dolls. 0191 488 3188. There's nothing wrong with that. There you go. I used to get told off for playing with guns and stuff. Let's find out how somebody else began. The legend who is Paul Weller.
Where did it begin, this dance you have with music?
I first started getting into music when I was about 12. I mean, that's when I first got bought a guitar. I was 12 years old. My dad bought me an old electric guitar, and that's when I kind of got into it. And then by the time I was 14, I started playing gigs just locally around where I come from in Woking. And we'd play anywhere, man. We'd play social clubs, working men's clubs, and work pubs, whatever, really. Whoever would have us. And that was it.
So that would be about 1972. Bells. Took a while because that was long before the Jam.
Yeah, we were going since 72 in one shape or form, and we got signed up in 77. So it was a good sort of 5 years of just kind of slogging it out and you know, learning the ropes and doing our apprenticeship, and it was good. It stood us in good stead, really.
Something unhappy about here.
Yeah, see that.
Yeah, I can see stuff in the mist. What's your name? Tell us your name.
Easily create your next video. Motionary offers you more than 500,000 templates. Music.
Tell us your name.
Yeah.
I know. Wow. What? What was that? Yeah. Are we too close for comfort? Did you serve in the barracks? Did you serve in the barracks here? Were you a soldier? Were you a soldier? Yes. What rank were you? What rank? What rank were you? Sam.
Well, at least I've got a name.
Remember the name Sam? Remember the name Sam? We just got a Sam.
Yeah.
And I've got a story about a Sam.
No
A
way.
bit later on. Sam Mackay? Is that you, Sam? Or did you know Sam? Did you know Sam?
Strange.
This area here, before we go upstairs, Tony, just turn that off for a second. This area here was the parade ground where the soldiers used to march. And how long basic training, Kenny, before they would send somebody to fight against Napoleon or the Boers or in Crimea? How long basic training? And if you're an ex-soldier yourself or you're related to any, how long was basic training for you or for your family? My dad's basic training was 9.5 months.
I was going to say about 6 months.
28 days they had to learn basic bayonet skills, basic shooting, and then they were sent to face overpowering odds. But they marched around on this piece of ground. It's now an overgrown bowls pitch, I think, but that's what it used to be. But anyway, let's get Kenny in out the frost. Look at that door, beautiful. And there, the date the place was built, 1865, with the official crest. You see, it's got the second. Remember how I told you?
Oh yeah.
The second County Durham Volunteers and militia. Fantastic, isn't it?
56 years ago. 156 years ago.
Amazing.
Isn't it just?
Let's make our way. Beware of the yellow snake. The thing is, because we're so near town, sometimes you miss a lot of the sounds. But you know, when you're out in the countryside, you can hear absolutely everything. But here we're right in the centre of the town. I know. So
once we're inside, it should be quiet.
well, a bit later on, we're going down to that haunted bridge and the cemetery. Yeah. So we'll be seeing that. Yeah, there'll be a bit of that before the end of it. Well, I seem to spend my life in a cemetery.
Don't we?
However,
we might spend our life there, but we're going to spend our death there.
No, I'm not sure I am.
I'm not sure I am either.
However, if you don't know how to get in, that's little building. This is the back of the hospital, Vane, Tempest. So you can actually drive up here, and it's this tiny little.
So we've got to walk through this here to get to it.
We do, and that will be later. However, let's get round. Still a few cars here because there are like people in the dance school and what have you. I think the people that were upstairs have obviously, looks like they've gone.
There's one light on there.
That's just the top of the stairs. So we'll knock that off and we'll do the lot, I think. So bear with us. Boom.
Can you get in front for the camera? And then you just
go for it and knock all the lights up as we go.
Who knows where the lights are? You tell people upstairs you can't turn the lights off.
Right. Let's get in. Let's get in first.
Is that door from the other side?
Yeah, that's the big white door. Can you put yours on lower beam, Kenny? Yeah.
I think that is on low beam, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
That's low. That's okay.
Oh, turn it off.
Yeah.
You have yours.
I mean, this one's quite strong on my heat.
Here you go. Here's a picture of Durham militia in the 1860s. That's what they looked like outside that gate.
Yeah,
you see it? Amazing. Don't know how well you'll be able to pick it up on your camera, Tony. But just more proof of the pudding. Now, apparently, the ladies' toilets is where a little apparition appears. And that's along here, isn't it? Or is it? I'm not sure. Let me take take this.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there, look, there's all the pictures of it, look, outside.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Look.
Oh, yeah. Relatively modern, though.
Yeah.
Relatively modern. No, but it's this the ladies? Yeah, it's here. Apparently, this is where a ghost appears. So, let's get in.
That's a great word, persuades.
Now's it. Absolutely.
Up there.
Me lens is steamed up. I need my little cloth. It just steamed right up. There, that's better.
Right. Just, I want to just point you to that thing. Licensed in pursuance of Act of Parliament for Music and Dancing. How fantastic is that?
Noises. There's noises there.
You're getting noises?
There's no one in the building.
That's amazing.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, did you hear it, Tony?
I did.
We get some rumbling now. We said this is where the little girl spirit was supposed to be. And if you come in, Tony, there's two reasons for you to come in. One is just in case we find the spirit. And secondly, it tells you on the wall how to sit on the toilet, which is actually really funny.
What? Really? Okay. So that's what we learned. So that's what girls do.
Apparently so.
Okay.
That's just a standard toilet. But check the mirror, because you never know. Let us back out, so. Voices as well. Any voices?
There? Knocking?
Did you hear that?
Water now?
Well, they next to a toilet, so.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like it's in.
Some of the toys and Christmas stuff. Toon Lass says, I never got a doll's house, but I got one about 20 years ago. I'm just busy doing it up again. I just remember girls that hung out with us when we were little kids in the street, and a lot of them had doll's houses, and they would say to their mums and dads, have you got any spare bits of wallpaper? And they'd be wallpapering like the spare room in the doll's house. Brilliant. Love all of that. Love it. And of course, being lads, we used to try and get our soldiers using the doll's house to fight out the windows or to use it as a castle for our toy soldier knights, if you remember back in the day. 0191 488 3188. Chris Black, what a topping story. I had a compendium of games. I used to love compendiums because you'd get like 20 or 30 different games all in one set, so you never got bored with just one game. I know Snakes and Ladders were in there, chess. What else was in a compendium of games? I need to buy a compendium of games again. Angela Lumsden said, did anybody have a rally denim with the box thing on the back? And comes to she like Cluedo. Best game ever, she said, where you killed Miss Scarlet in the library with a candlestick and all that kind of stuff. I played Cluedo a couple of times. It was fun. And there was Monopoly that everybody fought about, and somebody eventually would tip the whole game upside down and storm off. I was always the little ship. Were you the little dog? Yeah, I know what you mean. So tell me your toy story. Toy stories, please. Let's have that. We got Michael next. He's an Ash winning. Hello, Michael. Hello, mate. What you got for us all tonight, then?
I was contacted by yourselves actually. My friend tagged me in a Facebook.
Yes, that's right. All right, Yeah, where have you been? Oh, brilliant. Oh, blimey, how is it? How far into it are you? That's great. Good on you, mate. Yeah. Yes. Right. 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 Oh, wow. Brilliant. Yeah. Whoa, that's great. Did you catch that on camera? Yeah, I bet you did. That's brilliant. Right. 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 Strange. How good is that? Right. Great. I mean, what's the best one you've been on then, Michael? Right. And why was that? Right. Northolt, know it. Yeah. Right. Fabulous. I tell you, that's a bit of living history, isn't it? It's fabulous. Yeah, I was too. Whoa. That's ridiculous. I can just imagine the other lad saying, Keep your head down, man. What you doing? Fantastic. Yeah, we got an endless supply. Oh, hang on. Yes, I have them on my screen as we speak. We'll put what's the first one? Talk us through the first one. It's the dog one. Yes. Right. Right. Uh-huh. It does, no, absolutely. And talk us through the second one, which does just, it looks like somebody's walking down there. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do something that's benign, something that's gentle.
I think it was on Facebook. I don't know if I've still got the original of the far out shot.
Right.
And then a couple of people just saying, you've caught something on your photo. And we were like, what you're on about? We haven't got a clue what you're on about. So they highlighted roughly where it was at. And we still rubbished it off. We turned around and said, but it's just a rubbish bag. We thought it was just a passing rubbish bag in the wind. And then when we zoomed right into it and you look at the photo that I've sent you there this evening.
Yes.
It brilliantly looks like to me like a priest's head
and shoulders, and below the white patch, like the blackness of a gown or something similar is what I would have put it down to.
Yeah, well, the white square object on the right hand side, that's actually ground level, and that's a stone which probably goes up to about below your kneecap.
What?
So it's like as if he's walking in the ground, and it's actually coming as if it was heading into the Abbey from somewhere else. And obviously there's talk that there's hidden tunnels will go from Phil Abbey up to Durham Cathedral.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But when we zoomed in, that's the picture we got. And still to this day, we couldn't explain what we caught there. We're not saying what it is, but it's pretty hard not to think what it might be.
Yeah, it looks more personally than plastic baggy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
that's wild. That is good shot, good capture. Hey, well, Michael, thank you very much indeed for coming on. Appreciate it. Another world traveller ghost hunter. Always good to talk to. Thanks for coming on, Michael.
All right, see you later.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye. 01914 488 3188. What are you going to talk about tonight? We would love to find out, and let's get busy with it. We are going to take a piece of music or take a call. I'm never sure this time of night. I think we'll talk to Angela instead. Got a sneaky suspicion if a tile's come off your roof, if your fence is blown down, if you've slipped and banged your buttocks on your driveway like a good few have. I was quite surprised when I came out today that just within about 3 hours, suddenly you had to get your scraper out and you get the ice off the front. It's all Angela's fault. Mm-hmm. Well, kind of. We'll find out. Hi, Angela.
It's not my fault.
It's your fault, Angela in Stanley. It's you. Apparently, the storm's named after...
my fault.
It is. It's named after your granddaughter, man, who?
Yeah, it's granddaughter's fault.
How old is she?
3.5.
No, we're going to have to sue you. We'll never get any money out of her. She'll just have about 40p in a piggy bank. That's no good.
I sent my daughter a message and I says, what have you done, Rowan? And why is she in such a bad mood? And she says, well, I told her she couldn't have any chocolate. So apparently it's my daughter's fault because she would not let my granddaughter have chocolate.
There you go. You see, if she'd let Owen have her own way, maybe we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in at the moment. There you go.
I just find it so amazing that, like, it's a random name that is so unusual.
Yeah, for sure.
And they picked it for a storm.
Well, I mean, they say a lot about bands that are in the terrible twos and the horrible threes and the funky fours. I mean, they always say that that's the busiest time when they are literally like a force of nature around the house. Is that not true?
Yeah, but can I also mention something? Have you seen the original Jurassic Park?
Yes.
The film.
Yes.
At one point, there's a part where the Hurricane Carissa that is mentioned.
Yes.
Hurricane Carissa.
Right.
My daughter is called Carissa.
So they're just going down the ABC of your family by the sound of things. That's unbelievable. But I mean, where does the name Arwen come from?
I think originally it's a Welsh name.
Right.
I think that's what it is, because my daughter's called Carissa.
Right.
But her name is spelled Cherisse.
I'm just looking
but
up.
You pronounce it Cerisse.
Right. Well, Arwen apparently was a name invented, because you know when I was saying earlier on, I was joking about
Lord of the Rings.
The Great Wind of Arwen. It sounds like it's Lord of the Ringsy, and yet the name Arwen was created by Tolkien, and it means noble maiden in Sindarin, the language of the elves in Middle Earth. In fact,
I know
Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Wings, Lord of the Wings. What's the matter with me? I've suddenly turned into a car. Hunt the wabbit, kill the wabbit. Liv Tyler played Arwen in Lord of the Rings, of course. So, but it was invented by Tolkien. So how fantastic! I was inadvertently right, suggesting that it was Lord of the Ringsy.
She is my little elfie princess. So
does she have little pointy ears?
No, but she has I think she has supernatural powers, and she's a little bit evil. But cautious with it, so she gets away with it.
I think Ben's get away with murder, absolute murder. But
honest to God, Alan, she's like 3.5, and she has the vocab of somebody 5 years plus.
Right. I think Ben's
so brainy, amazing, and
she's probably going to have the best Christmas ever, because she'll be able to understand it far more this year as well than any others.
Yeah. She actually shocked all the doctors with
how bright she was.
Like talking and everything. Yeah.
There you go. I'm not at all surprised. I mean, anybody that's got I'm just picturing the little lass saying, "Can I have some chocolate, ma'am?" And her mother saying, "No, you can't." So I'm picturing her walking outside with a little wand and going, "Let the skies be filled." I'm picturing.
You need a wand.
Hey, lovely talking to you, Ange. Thanks for coming on. Yes, love.
Let's just say one last thing.
Of course.
I can remember meeting you. I think, God, it's got to be about, hang on, I'm just trying to think, because I think I was about 15. She took me like 40 years. 40 years.
My goodness, I was barely an embryo.
You owned a quick save at Stanley.
I opened it. I did, yes. Blimey, that was years ago.
I was there.
How about that?
And I got a photo of me and you together.
Oh, lovely. Tremendous. Hey, well, thank you. Thank you for coming down. No, it makes us family now, officially.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on, Angela. All the best.
All right. See you
Thanks,
later.
love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See, there you go. That's what happens. It's all part and parcel of what we do. 01914 488 3188. I haven't given you a clue yet. I will do that, then we'll play some music. 4 clues. Each clue is a hit. You've got to tell me whose hits. The first clue, any of the Kardashian daughters could be described as this. Okay? Any of the Kardashian daughters could be described as this. What hit record sums that up. 01914 888 3188, but not yet. 4 clues in total, then you ring in to be a winner. Meanwhile, let's talk to yet another star. This time, the band James, about things up there.
Kenny.
Either of you ever seen a UFO? What's your thoughts on alien anything?
We've gone from, when Siegfried Hoyle, who was the Queen's astrologer in about early 70s, wrote a book saying there are probably aliens out there. He was ridiculed and he lost his reputation overnight.
Right.
And now we've got to the point where 98% of scientists believe it's a given. There is clearly intelligent life out there, and it isn't us.
Because it kind of tips up every faith system in the world.
Yes.
And I mean, the Christians have enough difficulty trying to explain dinosaurs. So,
I mean, I personally think that actually lots of these animals are higher intelligences. We just don't realize it.
Right.
I'm into octopuses at the moment. I think they're a higher intelligence.
I'll buy you one.
Well, there's an octopus in San Diego Zoo, a big octopus, and they can squeeze through a hole the size of their beak because everything else is malleable.
Yeah.
And the fish were going missing in the zoo, and they put out CCTV cameras, and it was squeezing through something tiny, and this was like a 10-foot octopus, and it was walking across the floor, getting into the fish tank, taking a few fish, and it knew to get back in its tank before the security came in the morning.
That's brilliant. That's an intelligence.
That's an intelligence.
That is a super intelligence.
You've got the music box. Are you Sam? Are you Mary? Is Mary there? Is Mary there?
Mary. Said Mary. It said Mary.
It said Mary, I know.
100% it said Mary.
It said Mary. Mary's the woman that Sam ran off with.
That's it, Mary.
And she was the wife of a guy called Billy Ashcroft.
Right.
And he died in the mines in mysterious circumstances.
Has been quiet.
Yes, he did. Should be quiet, it was.
Didn't like that.
Didn't like it at all.
Yeah?
Yeah, do it.
Kenny's off with the.
Keep talking, Kenny.
I'll keep talking. He's off with the night vision. It is dark in here now. I'm going to go to the main hall, which is supposed to be the most haunted part of this hall. It's where Gwen and Ted are carving you up. It's a gust of wind has hit you. This is dark. Oh my lord, this is dark. This is dark. You can just hear your own footsteps on the wooden floors as you're walking in here. It's ghostly silent. There's awful shadows in here though. You can see from the corner of your eyes. You just look and you can see. There's some noise there as well. Dark shadows in here. Really dark shadows. Okay. Out the windows as well. I don't know what happened there, what was smoke flash? Something white flash there. what we've got on the camera. As you can see in front of us, we'll just set the camera up on Ted and on Gwen. I think there's just checking the lights. What's their lights going there? It's me just touching them now, just to make sure they're working. Okay, you can stop now. Stop now. Good. What did I do? Stop. Test me. If there is anyone in here, and you can do it, just touch them lights. Touch them lights first, just to sort of, oh my word. Right, so there's obviously something here. But it's Ted, not Gwen. Okay, thank you for that. That gives the impression that there is someone here. Touching that light, obviously you want to communicate with us. So that's what we're here for tonight. There's a camera on you all the time. Oh my word. Right. Thank you again. Thank you. Okay, we've got a device that, it's not going to stop. We've got a device that Alan's got. If you want to talk through it, please communicate through that device so we know more and learn more about you. Okay, thank you. I'm glad that the camera's on you. If you want, there's a camera, it'll get your image. You can walk in front of it, do something in front of the camera so that we can see you, so that we're aware that you're here. But we have a device next door. If you want to communicate through that and give us some words, some sentences, some history, that would be fantastic. We're not here to hurt you, just to communicate and give you peace.
You can WhatsApp us to your telephone number. We'll call you back. Or you can give Chris a call now. He'll take your number and we will call you back. The WhatsApp number, it's the easiest way to get through to us, 07863 431 837, and we'll call you straight back. That's what we do. Let's head across one of our supporters. We've got Craig, who is in Newcastle upon the Tyne. Hi, Craig.
Hi, Alan. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much for being a supporter. First of all, really appreciate that. What you got for us then, Craig?
Yeah, first of all, let's say hello to everybody in the YouTube chat that I normally speak to.
Okay.
You know, beautiful people in the chat, you know, really. You got two lads, you've got Legover, you've got Philip Murphy, Brian, and
good crowd.
Dean Charlton as well.
Absolutely, no, for sure.
So yeah, so at the moment I'm living in London,
right?
But I lived in Newcastle for about 10 years,
right?
Yeah, and I've been interested in spirits and ghosts my whole life.
Right.
I'm writing a book on ghosts as well.
Oh, that's good. I mean, what's the most vivid thing that you've encountered in your time being interested in them?
Yeah, there's one place on Dean Street. I don't know if you might have heard of the Surtees Hotel. I know you've heard of the Surtees bar on the quayside. Yeah, but the Surtees Hotel on Dean Street. You know, just before you get to Pizza Express.
Yes.
There's a small alleyway or around the back before you get to that.
That's right.
You can go to the car park.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And
what's the story down there then? I mean, is there a story to go with it?
Yeah, I used to work there for about 3 years.
Right.
And, I always felt there's some spirits in the hotel. You know, many, not just one, but you know, more than one.
Right.
And so one day anyway, I was at the hotel, and I was counting the reception till, and then I heard a smash from behind the bar.
Right.
Okay, so I looked up and thought, what the hell's going on?
Right.
So I walked behind the bar, and I thought maybe the night porters haven't stocked the shelves in the fridge properly. But no, fine. all the beers in the shelves and the fridge are fine. But one glass in the sink, completely shattered in pieces.
Right.
And so I scooped it up. I thought, this feels a bit funny. And if I can feel the spirit in my left ear, I go a bit deaf and a bit off balance. Okay.
Right.
So I thought, it feels a bit funny. So I scooped it up, put it in the bin, and went to the toilet, which is near the front door. And bearing in mind, the main reception area was laminated wood flooring.
Mm-hmm.
Or the original wood flooring, but sanded and varnished.
Right.
So I went into the toilet, lit this thing out. There was nobody there, okay? Because the owner used to say, "Oh, Craig, why do you always go to the toilet? All the time, and leave reception out unattended." So I used to listen all the time, and I heard nobody. Nobody came in. So I came up the toilet. I looked down the stairs, and I saw an old woman walking up the staircase.
Right.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And I chased the woman, but she looks like a Victorian woman. And she had long blonde hair going down the back.
Uh-huh.
Victorian boots, like a long black skirt.
Uh-huh.
And I got to the staircase, and I felt really, really strange. Right? So I stopped. My ear went funny as well at the same time. Right? Bear in mind, this is what happens when I can feel the spirit. Okay.
Right.
So I stopped and listened, and no, there's no door codes for each floor. Nothing. If you press the door codes for each floor, beep 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 beep.
Right.
And
yes.
you can hear it open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
A bit like the Starship Enterprise. Beep beep beep. Open. Nothing. Right. Nothing. So I stopped, and that's when I thought, what was going on? I thought, what's the woman's name? So I got Annie or Mary, something like that,
right.
as you always do,
Sure.
It's always Mary or Annie or something, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It often is, yeah.
It is, yeah. And I thought this can't be right. So anyway, so I stopped, and then a few weeks later, I spoke to a woman in Canada, right?
Right.
And she said, "Oh yeah, I spoke to a woman in the hotel called Mary Ann, and I can't speak to you no more because it's too many spirits in the hotel that are trying to talk to me."
Wow.
Right? Yeah. I said, "What did you say the woman's name was? Mary Ann."
And it's nearly always people who are married. So it's putting the two together. It's perfect.
But that's exactly because I had the name Mary or maybe Mary Ann or Mary or maybe Annie or something,
Right, right. It just shows that you latched onto it and you were right. It's brilliant.
I saw the woman walk at the set, and then you had the pint glass that exploded.
Yeah.
And also, there's been a lot of spirits come to the hotel. They're looking for some hidden treasure in the hotel.
But if you think about where the Surtees is, it's kind of down that alley and around the corner, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
The place where it is, if you think about it, used to be tenement houses leading down to the quayside, where large families like great grandparents, parents, children, and the children's children often lived in the same tenement, because they were very, very poor, and that was wooden, which is when the Great Fire kicked off. A lot of people were burnt alive up in that neck of the woods. So
that's true.
I mean, amazing history.
and there was another spirit as well when I walked into the bar area.
Uh-huh.
I should say there was a breakfast room, but it used to be the bar area of the old bar going back to the 1800s. And I walked in, I could see a woman, not visually, but in the mind,
right.
from the third eye. I could see the woman. She was wearing a purple dancing gown, like it was like what do you call it? Like a
ball gown.
A purple ball gown. That's right, yeah.
Right.
With, really dark purple flowers on the ball gown, but the ball gown was more like pinky color.
Right.
But the flowers were more purple color.
Right.
You know.
Gotcha.
And she was looking out the window towards the river,
right.
and she was like longing for somebody. You know.
Right. And that's what you felt. You felt that.
That's what. Well, this is what I felt this,
right.
and also somebody else did as well at the same time. I say at the same time. 2 weeks later, somebody came down and felt the same thing. And there was also I think a guy, maybe like 5'4", you know, walking around the back staircase,
right.
which it's never been redeveloped, never since, you know. And he was about 5'3", 5'4", and he had like a black boiler suit on. Maybe it's like a stoker or something to do with the you know, the ships. Or
Blimey, you picked up quite a lot from your time there, Vane, didn't you?
Yeah, and this guy was looking at the back window, you know,
right.
and he was the one that was putting a lot of dark energy up on the place, you know. So I picked him up. I picked the woman in purple up. I picked Mary Ann up.
Yeah, the Victorian lady.
So, and I picked all the spirits that are coming to the bar of the hotel
right.
to find some treasure that was supposedly hidden in either the wall or the floor.
Bizarre. I'm not surprised you've got a lifelong interest after you've had that kind of experience.
No, but it goes back even before that. That's why I picked that up.
Right.
Because even my grandfather as well, he used to see a lot of spiritist churches.
Right.
And he used to come back home and from Ilfracombe to Barnstable, you know, and he could see eyes in the back of the car coming back with him.
Right.
And
so it's a family thing. It's passed down the lane.
And even my mum as well, she picked some funny stuff up.
Tremendous.
And yeah, I'm writing a book as well on first-hand ghostly accounts.
What's it going to be called then? Have you got a title for it yet, Craig?
Yeah, Worldwide Ghosts, first-hand ghostly accounts of stories from around the globe.
Great. Hey, well, once it's ready, tell us all, and we'll give it a plug for you. But thank you for coming on, Craig. Great to hear from you.
Thank you, Alan. It's nice to speak to you. Thank you very much.
My honour. Thank you. There you go. One of our loyal, steadfast and true supporters. Very, very proud of them. Thank you very much for all you do. Keeps us going on our ghosty things on a Friday. We thank you for that. 0191 488 3188. Lots to talk about. And this is Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. We want your calls. We also want your toy stories. What was the ultimate toy that you got for Christmas? The ultimate toy you wanted but never got? The thing you yearned for? How you played when you were a kid before everything involved a controller in your hand? Long before the Nintendo Wii. 0191 488 3188. Let's get busy with it.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And give you peace. So, thank you for touching the light and setting it off for us. That was brilliant. I appreciate that. If you could do it again later on, just hear the noise there. Click. If you could do it again for us, that would be fantastic.
To be a great photographer, there's one thing you need to understand, and that's lighting.
Come on, if there's anyone here, we want to hear from you. This is a fascinating place because this is where history happened. The people who fought from this base were incredible. And countless stories, and yet if you look online for the story of the militia, you don't get it. You have to follow the regiments that they supported and find out in their reports when the militia and volunteers were mentioned, and they were often mentioned. There's one guy who was the son of a fisherman from Seaham. His name was Andrew Brown, who got mentioned because they believed he was taken, fighting in the Second Boer War, and he never returned. And then 5 months after the war had ended, which is almost a year later. So this is a year and 5 months on. He suddenly turned up in the same because he. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I heard a bang or a knock.
And it was right here. It was like somebody tapped the window. There's no one outside. But I heard that clearly. But this Andrew Brown, he'd been away a year and a half, and he turns up and see him, to see his family. Still had his uniform on. A year and 5 months later. And apparently what had happened was, he tried to escape the Boers. Now, you got to remember why we were fighting the Boers. Now, and I know I don't want to knock our own country, but we should learn our own history. Because back in the past, sometimes we were sods, essentially. And what happened was, the Boers discovered diamonds and gold. And they started diamond mines and gold mines. So Great Britain said, we're going to take them over then. If they've got all that money, we'll just go in, conquer them, and take everything that they've got. So in they went, and that led to the First and Second Boer War. And were the Boers innocent? Well, they were just defending their property, for heaven's sake. That's all they were doing. And this Andrew Brown, he got detached from his troop. The Zulus, and I know we've only got the Zulu film to go off, and they knocked us, and we knocked them back. But the Zulus took him in, kept him safe, because they didn't like the Boers either, and kept him safe and sound, kept him out the way. He lived there for a year comfortably, and it took him 5 months to get back from Africa to see him. I don't even know now, if I was in Africa, I'm not sure I'd know how to get back. But back then, when there's no airports and you got to find a boat that'll take you back to Britain, what's the chances? But he did it. Andrew Brown, son of a fisherman from Seaham. Now, don't forget to share all of it, please. Share. And if you do, you could win yourself one of these, and you'd be helping us out big style. The only way we can keep going is if we keep growing, and we need your help with that. So tell everybody we've had the odd band.
This is real life conversation with the voice of the North.
This is Night Owls with Alan Robson.
Call 0191 488 3188.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And let's get talking to our next caller from Gateshead, all the way from Gateshead. It's Trevor. Hi, Trevor.
Hello, mate, all the way from Gateshead.
How you doing?
All right, mate.
Champion. Good. What do you want to talk about then, Trev?
A little bit of weather, a little bit of NUFC, and a little bit of COVID, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Right. Did you get through the weather the other night? I thought the front of my house is going to get ripped clean off. I mean, we've been lucky, but some of the places around the region, like, been nasty, man, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, did your street get hit at all?
No, mate. The farm up the street from us, the fences do like.
Right.
There's a couple of roofs off.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as much as I thought would have happened in what I've seen, like in Sunderland and Blythe and like Crimden Dean and Berwick, the caravan parks, mate.
Yeah, all over the place.
It's like something you see off an American news.
Just what I was thinking, because you know when you always see these people and they're usually huddled in a basement and they're saying, "You can hear the roar." We heard the roar, didn't we? Blimey!
Oh yeah, mate. It was really bad, like at 12 o'clock at night, and then it got to like 1:30 in the morning, and I said to my daughter, and it sounds like it's as if it's calming down, and all of a sudden there was this big scream, mate, and I thought, yeah, you know, honest, mate, I was pressing my windows to make sure they were all honestly, I've heard wind because I live on the hill, and anyways, you know what I mean?
Right.
And whenever there's nasty weather or whenever there's a storm, you hear the wind bad, you know.
Yeah.
But this was like the Exorcist come past me in me every 2 seconds. I swear to God, honestly, it was unbelievable. Like,
yeah, just up the road from where I am, there's an entire fence from about 20 yards of fence just lying around with one bit missing that you just know is in another street somewhere, being blown over. A lot of aerials are a bit wonky. A few tails have gone, but glad you survived.
Oh, it was nasty, mate.
It was.
Like I see, man. Did you see the like Berwick and Crimson Dean caravan park?
We're a total mess. Absolutely.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, shocking.
Naughty, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, at least what one of us said.
Right.
Newcastle.
Yes.
What? In fact, I want to get on to Rafa after Newcastle, right?
Okay,
I
sure.
didn't want to keep too long. What do you reckon about Newcastle? We've got 2 6-pointers coming up now, haven't we?
Absolutely. I think if they don't get it, let's face it, they haven't won all season, and if they don't win against Norwich, who are rejuvenated with a new manager and what have you, if they don't get 3 points there, I think they might have to go down to come up again.
But that's the thing, mate. I think we should be buying players to prepare for that. But what players are gonna want to buy into that, mate?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we're gonna do that, we're gonna spend all these billions we've got.
No, that's absolutely true. I think what the club are hoping for is that they can bring in, because they need more defence than anything else. They need another striker, definitely, and they need, to be honest, I would replace pretty much all of the defence.
Mate, I'll go all out now for 2 central defenders.
Absolutely.
Who's out there?
Yeah.
Who's out there? You know?
Well, it depends. Money goes a long way, you know. If you say, look, you can play for Juventus and you can earn this, but we'll give you 100 grand a week more, they'll go, what, really? Well, go on then. If they're up for a fight, because you want people who want to play for the club, that's always been the way, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, mate.
It's going to be a battle, though.
I was thought it's a battle already, man.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
I mean, there's only one team that's ever getting out of this, I think. And was it
Derby?
Was it Derby, I think?
Yeah.
Derby, wasn't it?
Scary, though. What about Rafa then, Trev?
He's looking sick of his life, isn't he? And
yep.
Ivan Tony stuck one in his eyeball for him today, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, and absolutely. Yeah.
Rafa Selton, me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you see, I think he was hanging on for Newcastle. You know, he was hanging on, and then he thought, Everton's a biggish club. Go on, and he should have known that the Evertonians they're not likely to forget what he said when he was at Liverpool. You know, that's the thing.
No, I mean, you spoke about this when he first took over in the summer, mate, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's a couple of passes.
I was laughing my boobies off then, you know. But no, he got rid of Ivan Toney, and he was one more up and coming strikers, and I think he's gonna be the boy in years to come. I may be wrong, but
we'll see.
But, I've just watched Match of the Day there, man, and I swear to God, I've never seen Rafa look like a beetroot. Look like his ears gonna explode. I've never seen his cheeks as red in my life.
That's decent. Well, they're still Liverpool fans, obviously. Hey, Trevor.
Always, cheeks went red for Liverpool on Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
I want to get on about COVID as well.
Oh yeah, go on then. What about COVID?
We've got one new variant out, right?
Apparently, yeah.
And you've been double jabbed, haven't you all?
Yeah.
Like most people are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now this apparently isn't even gonna. You're still gonna be able to catch it if this Omicron variant gonna take over. And apparently America's locked down now. Apparently America, and they're not letting people out. So what's going on here? Who do you believe? I haven't been jabbed yet, mate.
Yeah.
I've just seen my uncle this year for the first time since like just after Christmas last year, and he went, "Are you getting your booster, like Trevor?" And I went, "I haven't even been jabbed, man, mate." And he jumped away from us. And I was like,
"You're toxic."
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy.
But to be quite honest, does anybody know what you're getting jabbed with? And in fact,
No.
there's all these new variants coming out.
Yeah. And how many more jabs are we going to be asked to get down the road? Yeah.
Everybody's going to look like a pincushion, Alan.
Looks that way. Looks that way.
Yeah.
I did it because I want to travel if I can. Because I'm
exactly,
everybody who fancies going on holiday somewhere. I want to get into gigs. I want to get into restaurants. I want to, just do normal things.
But Alan, that's making you do it.
Yeah.
That's your privileges. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
No, but it should be a basic human right, all of this. But
Exactly, mate.
but the world's turned a peculiar corner, and I agree with most of what you've said there. And I wouldn't jump if you were in me company, because I'm kind of a fatalist with this. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. So I hear what you say. Got to move on, though. But thanks a lot, Trev. Great talking to you as always.
No, but I'll speak to you before Christmas.
Look forward to it. Thanks a lot, man. Look forward to it. There you go. We've got to take a quick break. However, first, let's find out a bit about Duran Duran. Looking at your track record, it's going to be actually quite difficult to scrape through. But I'm just thinking, what's been the highlight and the low light of your time in the game? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like for me, I think the low light was just getting too out of it, and just letting all the booze getting on top of things. I couldn't see the wood for the trees for a while. I couldn't see any joy in it. That was a downtime, definitely. But God willing, that's been a while now. Rog?
Down, I think it's when we played Live Aid, actually, because I felt like the spirit of that first part of the career, if you like, the first, the feeling that we had when we got together as a band had kind of disappeared somewhere. And that kind of really destabilized me, I think. And I wasn't a happy camper at that point.
And yet everybody looking at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody,
because it's like, don't worry, there's only 10 billion people watching. Come on, just relax. It's like, what? And I think that was the last gig I actually played with the band at the
we kind of split into two camps, hadn't we?
Yeah.
There was like Simon and Nick, and there was John and Andy, and Rog, you were kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I was kind of stranded.
Actually, I just walked past. Sorry? Lights going off on tape. The lights going off.
Oh, we need to put the camera on in there then. Oh, really?
I was talking to it, and I said, you're going to do it again, do it again, do it again.
Well, there is a child ghost in here, so maybe it's reacting to that.
Right. Well, it's Ted this time. It's not Gwen.
Yeah. Well, if it's a little boy though, so it wouldn't go with Gwen.
Yeah.
Wait.
She said he was a little.
It's just a little boy. He's coming with a toy, isn't he?
The Teddy.
Teddy.
Not the So we're going to put the other camera on then, so it's constantly on.
That camera in there.
Yeah.
It's on, isn't it?
No, we need to go and put it on.
Is it not on?
Well, no, we need to go in and put it on.
It's all good together. Well, as I say, I've always got on this camera. There is someone in the corridor.
What? You've seen somebody in the corridor?
Yeah, some guy in the corridor.
What, a real guy?
So wait until they've gone then.
This is obviously an end because we got.
There's businesses around upstairs and stuff.
We got the dance class in the corner, and if they need to go to the loo, they've got to come into these toilets. So we're just going to take that out because the dance school is right down the far end, so we can't.
It's actually that other end of that, maybe.
Yes, the other end, but we can't hear their music.
No.
So we're not going to hear them. But if they go to the loo, what are we to do? That's the thing. Let's go now then. See if we can get across to the other side.
I said, if you want to communicate, you've got a device and stuff that they can talk through. So.
Oh, actually, we've got the little device as well that we've never used.
Let's
like
do it.
ask questions and.
Let's do it. Set it on.
I'll just. This is the little recorder here, EVP recorder. So I'll just.
Let's do it and see what we
when,
get.
When you're getting, when you're talking to the doll, use that as well, and it might pick stuff up as well.
4 times.
Yeah.
Which is great.
There's several ghosts said to be in or around this building. Just up the lights out, Ken.
What was it again?
That's upstairs.
Okay.
Oh, baby, it's cool.
It's
Yeah.
really cold and dark.
This is bitter. Go on, Gwen. Do you think?
This camera
It's
on?
Ted.
I'm going to put it on now.
Right, come on. Did you catch it on your camera too?
Yeah, I did. I was facing it.
Come on.
I was facing it, so I would imagine that it's cold.
If you want to talk to us, now's the moment. Come on, Gwen. With your black seal's eyes and supernatural Ted's not doing any better.
It was Ted that was communicating.
Shall I leave this in the other room?
Well, if it's happening in here when you're asking questions, the balls might go off and you might get sound as well.
Okay.
Come on, touch Ted again. Touch the ball and set it up for us like you did before.
Come on. You want to hear your story?
So I was saying, just communicate with us. Right?
Speak to us. That's Tony's light behind Ted.
Definitely.
Come on. Over there.
Both on. Just to make sure that you're on. So I did before. Yeah, they're on. Me just testing them.
Right. They're working, so...
So there's no reason why not. They go off after 6 seconds. That's speed up.
Yeah.
Right. If there's anyone here, communicate with us through the ball.
Or the teddy.
Or the teddy wants the ball. Or speak to us. Is there anything you want to say to us? If there's anyone here, make yourself known. We would love you to have any kind of communication you can with us.
I would definitely got on this camera before.
I hope so.
It went off about 4 times. But that proves that
this place is freezing.
It's freezing. But that proves that you have to touch it. Something's got to touch it.
This used to be 2 stories high.
Yeah.
And don't forget to share this place, because the very men who slept in the upstairs rooms where there used to be a floor above this, you see their windows, the very men who slept there fought in the Second Boer War. And they fought, I bet you've heard of this, because being a football fan, you've heard of the Kop.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was named after?
The Spion Cup.
And what was the Spion Cup?
I've read this somewhere before, but I've forgotten.
This militia, along with other British regiments, fought the Battle of Spion Cup.
Right.
And it was in South Africa against the Boers in the Second Boer War. The Battle of Spion Cup. Spion Cup was this mountain area, and the Boers were on the top of the hill. And it was a really foggy day. And the troops battled up the hill, and they had horrific losses. Horrific losses. But because it was so foggy, it ended up being hand-to-hand fighting. So in the mist, you're coming out of the mist, you'd see somebody and you'd go, "Oh, you're one of ours, or you're one of theirs." Yeah. And you'd have to, a split second, to either take them out or die. That was your choice. And the Battle of Spion Cup, they lost about 500 to 600 soldiers to get up to the top. And the militia, and I mean, this is a huge victory. The Battle of Spion Cup was conquered. Hurrah! And then the fog lifted. And when the fog lifted, they were led into battle, incidentally. Major General Andrew Clarkson, right? So, General Clarkson, 100%. So they're at the top of the hill, they're celebrating. Yeah, we've beaten the Boers, we've won the Battle of Spion Cup, and they did. However, when the fog disappeared, they discovered that the Spion Cup was a hill like that, and they're all on top of it. But beside it were 3 other hills.
And on the top of those 3 hills were Boer artillery regiments who blasted the hell out of them, wiping out nearly everybody, claiming another 350 lives, many of them the people who slept in this place. And then they had to retreat down the hill and beetle off. 1,140 wounded, most of them losing limbs. Now, how do you even start, A, to get them all down the hill? Secondly, how do you get them all bandaged up and looked after? Where do you start? And this is where famous people are mentioned. The same battles, the Boer War. Give me the name of somebody famous who fought in the Boer War.
Oh, I wouldn't have a go to see.
But you would.
Would I?
Winston Churchill.
Never.
He was a journalist at first, and then he joined up and he became a commissioned officer because he was
Winston Churchill.
Yeah, he was born in a toilet in Blenheim Palace. So somebody else that was in the Boer War, Mahatma. The word of the owl, as always. And get your toy stories in as well. If you have any toys that are a must get this Christmas, what toys over the years have you fought to get hold of for your family or for yourself, maybe? 0191 488 3188. Time for your second clue. Now, each week we play a game called Whose Hits? Whose greatest hits, actually. But whose hits are there? I'm going to give you 4 clues. The first clue I gave you was one of their minor hits, one of my favorites, but one of their minor hits. Second clue, detectives who are self-employed. What hit covers that? The first clue, any of the Kardashian daughters can be described this way. That's the first hit. Second hit, detectives who are self-employed. What do you call detectives who are self-employed? 2 clues down, 2 songs. The answers, 2 more songs for you to find out if you can, if you happen to be incredibly wise. If you are geet clever as oot. That's the thing. We're off to Gateshead again. We got Brian there. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Alan. Just got a few quick things to fire off.
Go for it. Yeah.
This new variant of I can't pronounce this, so I'm just going to call it the South African virus.
Yeah.
Apparently, the government in South Africa said, yeah, it is a virus that spreads fast, but it is not very dangerous. So, I mean, a lot of people who've actually got it are not actually being hospitalized. So it could be one of those like forms of the virus that are quite mild. I mean, so I just think we're overreacting maybe at the minute because obviously we need to get more information on it. I mean, the government's talking about everybody wearing masks, and I hope it didn't spoil our Christmas because Boris will be off to the Virgin Islands somewhere. One of his mates getting a nice holiday with his wife. I mean, so I don't want to spoil our Christmases. You know what I mean?
Why do you think though? Because if you think about it, I've always believed that a government should be kind of like your doctor. They shouldn't panic. They should stay calm and let everybody be calm about it. Why is everything to do with COVID shock, horror, gasp, death? We're all going to die. There's a new variant. What will we do? That seems to be the way that they're reacting to it.
Absolutely, Alan. And like I said, I've been watching the news of world news all over the TV, and the South African government said that there's a lot of people in like Johannesburg and Durban have actually got the virus.
Yeah.
But again, hardly any of them have been even been anywhere near a hospital. They've managed to brush it off. So you know what I mean. They've been sequencing the virus, so it's not that thank God it won't be that dangerous like the other one, the Delta virus or the Indian virus.
Yeah, but every time there's any type of variant or another, and let's face it, there's going to be other viruses come around. We're used to getting about 30 or 40 different viruses a year. We're only concentrating on this one and its variants, while all the rest, don't tell anybody about all the other ones. We can scare the pants off them with it.
I think the government wants to start social distancing. I mean, like I said you last time I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, I wear masks on public transport and I'm doing the shops still. I don't like wearing the mask, but I mean, I do anyway because obviously, I feel a bit safer with them on.
Sure.
The other thing I was going to quickly mention, Alan, was like, I don't understand. I'm not a football fan at all, right? I've got no interest in football, but I cannot understand why a manager gets sacked and is being given £8 or £9 million like handout. So I mean, to say, take care. There's a big sack of money for you. Because they're in a normal job and you get sacked, you're getting out. So how does that work?
It depends on the deal that they've got. It seems that some football managers sign a contract, so, I've signed for 4 years or 5 years, which in this day and age, to me, I think that's, if you've got somebody, like Pep Guardiola, the best manager in the world, well, fair enough. Try and tie him down as long as you can. And I think Man City's only got him for a couple of years. Just to give somebody 4 or 5 years, how many managers last that long in this day and age? Not only the great ones. So you're hoping for the best. I think it's madness. Yeah. But the amount of money they pay for footballers is madness too.
Oh no! I mean, what's it called? Big Sam Allardyce. He's always getting sacked and getting loads of handouts. I mean, the money he must have earned by being sacked and going to different clubs and then moving on. He's not like exactly like couldn't be like. Desperate or anything like that, is he? Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is how I can never feel sorry for a manager because he's leaving, but he's going because it's halfway through his contract. They've got to pay him the £2 million. And you think, I can't feel sorry for somebody who's got £1 million, let alone they're going to get £2 million for losing their job. Blame me, I wish I got not a penny when I left. So you'd think, surely to goodness, they should say, I've left, I'm going to have a really good holiday, I'm going to buy a new car, I'm going to spend some time with the family, and if another job comes up, champion. But they don't need it. If you think, if somebody gave me, I don't know, $500,000, $250,000, I'd probably spend the rest of my days sunning myself somewhere. I'm sure I could find somewhere, Bonnie. But it just seems that the whole football world at the moment, the type of money that they're talking about is ridiculous.
It is, absolutely. And the other thing I was going to quickly mention, sorry, I'm moving on to this because I know you haven't got much time.
Crack on, man.
Do you ever watch the TV channel in France 24, the news channel?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Obviously, it's a French channel, but obviously it's English speaking.
Yeah.
Apparently, President Macron has said, since it had that, that situation where people have died in the English channel, he said that anybody in the camp here can now, come forward and claim asylum in France, and we'll get you some accommodation. We'll get you at the camp.
Yeah.
Nobody's bothered to come forward because they've all got the sights on the UK.
They want the benefit.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah, because they want benefit. The weird thing is, in France now, there is a kind of a benefit equivalent that they've got access to. Macron said that for one reason. Boris sent a press release out that really paid Macron off. So
I heard about that.
So that's just part of the, behind the scenes. Macron's trying to come over as a statesman, yet he fails to realise that Britain have paid more money for him to try and avoid sending immigrants across the channel, and yet. So he's saying this that you've just described. You can settle here. We'll help you out. We'll set you up. We'll give you some money. We'll look after your family. You don't have to go to England because we've given millions of pounds, like three-figure millions to the man to try and do something. But at the same time, at exactly the same time, and you didn't see this on the French channel, but on one of the other European channels, I think it was the Dutch network, they're saying that in France, they're selling off ex-Coast Guard vessels. Apparently there was a number of like huge dinghy. These things that they're coming across the channel in.
Oh, yeah,
they're selling them off all over Europe because there's massive money to be made. So everybody that's got one of these huge dinghy things, capable of holding 40, 50 people, they're now saying, I'm never going to use one of these things. Might as well flog it. Now's the time. So all over France, people are selling these boats. So you're thinking, you can't say, you can settle in France while you're letting people sell dinghies to immigrants so they can pull them down to the beach. The two things don't match.
Yeah. In America, Alan, do you watch it? There's a documentary I've seen on the Sky Channel. In America, the Miami, around their area in Florida, they've got like a special police force on jet skis and like patrol boats.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of people coming over from Cuba, and they actually arrest them in the I don't know what sea's called where they are.
Right.
But when they start to come across in the boats, they do arrest them, take them on board a ship and put handcuffs on them and process them and they do take them back to Cuba. So Why the hell can't we do that here?
Well, yeah,
I mean,
I absolutely
if they're
get
in
it.
British waters, the class is like, you're in British waters, you're now in French waters,
Mm-hmm.
you've got no documents, you kind of just walk into someone's country if you've told your documents up. How the heck are you supposed to claim political asylum? We'll pick you up, we'll give you some food, we'll handcuff him, we'll get you back to France, off the boat, and put them back on the beaches.
No, I would totally agree with that. It's just that once a boat's got into British waters and you say, well, where did you come from? They don't tell you. And they've ripped up their passports, so you don't even know where they come from. You can't let those people loose in your country because the whole reason, because they've done that, they're up to no good. If they were genuine asylum seekers and they could say, they've just murdered me village, or they're killing, there's ethnic cleansing going on, I had to get out of there. Well, then you can say, well, show me your passport. There you go. You got nothing to hide. But as soon as you rip up your documents, you already know that they haven't got a strong reason to be there. Send them back to where they come from. But if you can't work out where they come from, in some cases, you got to remember they're not just coming from France. Some of them are coming up from Spain and Portugal. Some are coming across from Belgium and Holland. So you think if you can't work out which country they come from, you got no option but to take them in. But I agree they should do what they do in places like Australia, where you're put into a camp where you're fed and watered, and then if you're eligible to stay, you stay. If you're not eligible, you got to find somewhere else to hang your hat. Simple as.
I just feel like when they're that, I mean, I can't imagine people stupid enough to come across now. I mean, the water must be freezing cold in the English Channel.
Terrifying.
So
but it just shows you how desperate these people are, though. You have to be pretty damn desperate.
Well, if I was given the option to stay in France, if the president said that you can stay in, I'd have to quite. What you know what I mean? You stay in France, it's the same similar country. There's always different language, nicer food. So I mean,
slightly
why
warmer.
would you want to come here for?
Yeah,
also, exactly. And plus, I mean, they've got like the south of France and Marseille, that you've got quite big communities from Morocco and Algeria.
Absolutely.
So obviously, if someone's Islamic, they're all Islamic down there, aren't they? So you wouldn't not think it'd be fitted in better if you were actually living in that part of and it's a nice part of the world to live in.
There's Muslims living in every part of France anyway. So the bottom line is it's a total mixture, because obviously people have travelled into France. People there from Britain, from Germany, from all over Europe and all over North Africa, because it's the next stop across, isn't it, really, across the Med?
Yeah. Can I just ask one more thing before going?
Sure.
I know you're on Great Hits Radio. Could you ever get a chance to play some music by the Barron Knights? Because their records were so funny. You never hear about them, do you, the Barron Knights?
They were brilliant. I loved the Barron Knights. And absolutely. What we'll do is I'll see if I can dig some out for you. No worries. Okay.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for that, Alan. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, Brian. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. That's true. And Hollywood, the Barron Knights made a Christmas single where they took the mickey out of 3 separate bands. I think one was the Day Trip to Bangor, and the other was a Sparrow on a Christmas Tree. See if you could find the Barron Knights Christmas hit, and we'll have to play it. It's a request by our peeps. Have to do it. So this has just come in from Pete, who's in Morpeth. I can't call due to losing my voice. I looked all over and I can't find it anywhere. I've contacted Alan in the past about paranormal activities in my home, sending audio and pictures of some of the activity. This went fairly quiet until recently. I'm nearly sure some of the activity is from another dimension or an ET nature, as they try and contact on what sounds like a powerful transmitter, as well as being Spurt being told that Spurt are attracted to the activity. I think you mean spirit. Whatever it is, I've found new sounds on some older recordings, several clearly saying my name, one regular voice saying he's called Bill. Would a good psychic be able to help? And do you know of any? Pete, it's hit and miss with psychics. There's some that are very good, but you got to find them out. If I were you, I'd probably try your local spiritualist church first. See if any of them are prepared to either have a listen or maybe even to come to your house. I also have a swift update for you, which is really important. You know, I mentioned that Trish was the mum of little baby Aria, and Trish has sent a message since the call that I had earlier with Daddy Ben. They have decided to start weaning her off life support on Monday, which gives us less time than we thought. She'll either not come out of it successfully and not manage without the support, which would mean we all would have to say our goodbyes. She might surprise everyone and come off with no hiccups and manage nicely on the ventilator and medicines. This hopefully would give her time to put on weight, and hopefully they can look into other options for her until her heart becomes available. There's also the chance she'll come out successfully, but will only last a few days without a new heart. Our baby girl is very unpredictable at this point and could go either way. We're hoping for the best outcome. Thank you again for all your kind words and support. We're thinking of her very much indeed. Right, let's get another call on. Oh, hang on a second. It's Jean. Hello, Jean. Hello, Jean. How are you? You're sounding well.
I'm being there. I got my pacemaker done at the Simon. I got to change the batteries in the pacemaker.
They're putting new batteries in you.
Yes, but I'm the surgery. All the heart plates, all the big heart plates went through there. It was on Wednesday. It was on Wednesday. And I came up on Thursday.
So, I mean, did it hurt?
Yes, it did. The stinging was stinging. But it was all right.
I must say, you're sounding better than you did last time you came on, mind. There must be double A batteries they've stuck in you this time.
I thought you're double A.
Yeah.
Double A. I was all right. And at the end, I had apple pie, the custard pear, and I made a sick. I was shaking like a leaf. Was it being too sweet? That made a sick. Even in the corner, shaking like a leaf. Because shocked to the system.
Right, yeah.
It was being too sweet.
Right.
I'm all right now.
I didn't think it was possible for you to be too sweet, Jean.
Because I'm stuck there. I've got to walk now. But if I can get to a taxi, then you're stuck down.
Oh, well,
I'll get that step up. There's a step there. It has to be moved. It's got to be moved, that step.
Right.
Oh, dear man.
Yeah,
I'll get down somehow.
Right.
Get down, get put on. And beside, it is on the same side as the Theatre Royal.
Yes, it is. Just a little bit further down.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
The taxis are around there. There's a man to help us.
Yes.
They're going to help us. They ring a bell. Can you see through the door? Can you see through the door?
Can I see through the door?
Yes.
Yes.
Glass door.
Yes, a glass door. Yeah.
Are you upstairs or downstairs?
Yes, we're upstairs. We're on the 3rd floor.
Oh, good.
But there's a lift and everything, so you can...
Oh, good. A lift, sir.
Right.
Yeah. Christmas. How's what I call it again, man? How's on fire? Nicola, how's it getting on?
I haven't spoken to Nicola for a while, but last time we talked to her, she was getting everything back in order and she was working hard with her business. So I'm wishing her well. She's a great girl.
What was it? What was it? Was it a fault? The fault, was it? What caused the fire?
Well, I think it was an electrical thing behind a fridge is what she told me at the time. Horrible fire. What an awful time as well to have a fire. Awful. Awful. Right, so what are you able to get out with your little walker then, or?
I can't believe the wind. I can't the wind.
Because you're going to have to be careful in weather like this, mind. You'll be skidding on your backside again.
No, I just fell forward. Bang me head on the bollard. Push this forward.
Right.
Bang me head on the bollard. Concrete bollard.
No, blame me.
It hurt me head. I got pain in the back of my head.
Right.
My shoes are telling me. I told the doctor. I won't go to the doctor anyway.
Yeah. I mean, headbutting a bollard's never a good idea, is it really?
No, the wind, 40 miles an hour wind.
I know. Well, I mean, we've had worse winds than that this week. That's why I was worried about you.
The button at the bow window.
Yeah.
Because for you is all right.
Yeah.
What's in it, Butter?
Yeah, we're okay. We're still warm and snug as best we can.
Is
But
that your office? Is that is that one night there? Just the one night, not two more.
I'm game for it, but it's one night at the moment, so that's what we have to do, and we do the ghosty stuff.
Right.
Well, we would love to do it. But hey, Jean, lovely talking to you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, have some for Jennifer.
I will do that for you.
Linda from Barrowsford.
As always. Thanks very much, Jean.
Bye.
Bye, Jean. There's Jean. She's had a pacemaker fitted. You know, last time it was very windy. It blew her over and she stuttered her head off a bollard. And she's sounding more alive now than she has, more lively than she has in a while. 0191 488 3188. What do you want to talk about? Pick up your telephone. Let's do some of that. Now, let's have another superstar coming out at night. The stars do come out at night for the Night Owls. First of all, a very brief chat with Nick Kershaw, all about life after death.
What about life after death?
That's a tricky one. I mean, it would be a lovely thing to believe. I mean, my wife is sort of basically Buddhist,
right?
And there's the whole reincarnation thing. I find it's very scary to believe that this is all there is, and that's it, and then you're dust, you know. But I think I've got this belief that we're all part of just one thing. You know, we're all part of the same thing, and
our energy will go somewhere.
Yeah, and I just something goes on. You know, part of us goes on somewhere. I don't exactly know what that is, and let's face it, none of us probably ever will.
Not until we take the step.
Not until we make that big step. Yeah.
Some people say that we all have guardian angels because those people who died that are important to us, parents, grandparents, close friends. That adds to our abilities in life because they kind of keep an eye from the other side of the curtain. You believe in that?
Yeah. I've had no personal experience of this, but again, I know friends that say they've got a spirit guide, and they can tell me, describe them very vividly to me.
The odd thing is, a lot of them are Red Indians.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, actually,
and they all have similar hair to what you used to have. So maybe it's just meant to be.
Maybe it's a thing. It's a thing about previous lives as well. Everybody was like a prince or an Egyptian.
Nobody was
royalty.
ever the guy who
Exactly. Nobody was a plumber.
I was Queen Nefertiti on the Nile.
No, exactly. That's what I'm a bit suspicious about.
Where do you start? And this is where famous people are mentioned. The same battles, the Boer War. Give me the name of somebody famous who fought in the Boer War.
Oh, I wouldn't have a go to see.
But you would.
Would I?
Winston Churchill.
Never.
He was a journalist at first, and then he joined up and he became a commissioned officer because he was
Winston Churchill.
Yeah, he was born in a toilet in Blenheim Palace. So somebody else that was in the Boer War. Mahatma Gandhi.
No.
Was an ambulance driver for us.
No.
One more famous one. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
No.
Was a volunteer doctor, and he fought in the Boer War, and he was a camp doctor for a camp of soldiers and militia. So people who slept here could well have bumped into Churchill, might have been on a stretcher carried by Mahatma Gandhi, might have been treated once they got into the camp by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. How cool is that?
What did Arthur Conan Doyle, was he not into spiritualist stuff?
He was heavily into it.
I thought he was.
Heavily into ghosts and spirits.
Yeah.
And of course, writing Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
But he used to have seances and he used to go to places like this looking for spirits.
I think next month's India, I'll look at next year, because I think it's something.
Yeah,
because it's atmospheric in here.
The echo is great.
Echoey, really echoey. I can't believe how much they went off before. Honestly, it just.
Does anybody with us touch the teddy?
They're working. They're working.
Touch the teddy for her.
Look, they're working.
If you want to speak to us.
It just before, it just 4 times in a row just went off.
You can touch either teddy you want.
Go on, you see what happens there, just to light them balls up so we know you're here. That would be great again, just like you did before. I wonder if it's because there's a light on it or what. But before I just come in the dark and they just went off.
there anybody here with us?
Just touch them, set them off. It's really cool. Hopefully that camera will pick something up now that it's on. I will definitely have it on this camera, on my body camera. Because it happened before when I was in here. Just keep on going.
Is there anybody in here with us?
Yeah, is anyone in? Give us a sign. Just so that we know. Just ring. Just set them off. Talk to us, communicate. I'll bring them now. Sure, look at here. So, talk through this.
Come on then. Talk to us. Busy. Just been telling stories of your bravery. Talk to us.
Said why?
Just said somebody say bold. Yes. Yes, you are bold. No. Talk to us.
Dear me. That's crazy in that corner.
Speak to us. Speak to us.
That is a lot of activity on there.
Absolutely.
What's aorta? What's aorta?
It's part of your heart.
What is the aorta? Did you hear that whisper there?
Sorry?
Did you hear that whisper?
Yes.
Just went, stop.
Just said, leave it alone.
Stop.
Leave it alone.
God. Why? Stop it.
Don't stop.
Why? Why? Stop what?
What do you want us to stop? What do you want us to stop? Is Sam there? Is Mary there? Mary. Mary.
Is that flashing? Does that flash when we talk?
I saw a flash.
That's the recorder.
Yeah, but it started flashing.
Yeah, just wait. It's like got a peak thing on it.
All right. Okay.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
Is that normal, Tony?
Yeah.
Do you struggle to drink enough water each and every day? Well, I'm about to introduce you to the cube that will not only enhance your water with great flavor and vitamins, but will actually help you.
Never know who's going to call next.
0191 488 3188.
And what happened to you and your home during the great storm of Arwen? We want to find out. Now, we just mentioned Nicola before. This is her talking about dog gifts at Christmas.
I've had my dog the perfume before, like the aftershave. But this year,
aftershave.
Aftershave.
What
yeah.
bits of the dog do you shave?
Well, no, you just spritz it on his fur so he smells nice instead of stinking of dog. It's got oils in it, so it attaches to the fur. He doesn't like it. He runs away from us, but I just rub it on my hands and rub it on him. But no, this year I got Roxy, obviously she's a girl, and Paddy's boy. So Paddy got a bottle of bottom sniffer.
Bottom sniffer?
Yeah. So
what's
it's
that?
non-alcoholic ale for a dog.
Well, I suppose if anybody's going to make you want to lick your own bottom, have a few drinks beforehand would seem a sensible idea. What have you bought? What are you going to buy your pets this year? You're going to buy them anything? I've seen those things that the easy route is the little stockings that they make up for you in supermarkets, like dog chews, bit of bone, squeaky toy, happy days. And cats always get a catnip toy that they can roll on the floor and kick to death. 0191 488 3188. David Johnson's been on and he said, why did the picture go to jail? Because it was framed. But this is really good. I thought this is best yet, David. Thanks to the wind, my wheelie bin is on a speed awareness course next week. Excellent. Thank you for that. Let us keep going. We are 2 clues in for our Who's Hits competition on Greatest Hits Radio. The first clue is any of the Kardashian daughters could be described as this. Second clue, detectives who are self-employed. Detectives who are self-employed. What are they called? 2 clues down, 2 song titles, the answer. 2 more clues, 2 more song titles you're looking for. You'll have the third one in 20 minutes. You'll have the fourth one in 40 minutes. So hang on in there on Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. Thank you very much. We have Phil, who I think's in Newcastle upon the Tyne. Hiya, Phil.
Hi, Alan. I'm just round the corner. I'm at the High Level Bridge. That's where I live, actually.
Don't jump. Right. So, thank heavens for that. What can we do for you, Philip?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just I haven't spoken to you for a while. It's been a good few years. So I've got an event. The great thing is, as you said, we've been on lockdown for a year and a half and stuff. So things are getting back. Exactly, it feels like that.
Sure.
We're getting back together normally, and the great thing is entertainers and DJs and singers, we're all getting back in the trade.
Yeah.
And the reason I've called tonight is we've got a big event at the Powerhouse on Friday.
Oh, wow.
It's actually our 35th birthday, believe it or not.
Oh, fantastic. What's on? What's the gig?
It's, as I say, 35th birthday. It's like a party clubland event. First of all, we've got Bradley from S Club 7.
Right.
So he's on. He's going to be doing Reach and Don't Stop Moving. He's got a 30-minute set.
Wow.
We've got Ian Vandal. Remember him?
Absolutely.
Castles in the Sky. Yeah, we've got him doing a 2-hour DJ set.
Great.
He's actually sold over 100 million tracks, so that's going to be great having him on.
Yeah, brilliant.
We've got Ultrabeat. Remember Pretty Green Eyes?
We do.
Feels good and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a mega. This is a mega gig.
It's a big event, yeah. We've splashed the money out, and it's the first event we've done in 3 years, Alan. Actually,
no, it's brilliant, fantastic. So, Ultrabeat, Ian Vandal, Bradley
Ian Vandal, Ultrabeat, Bradley from S Club,
right? So it sounds like it's a night everybody's going to see again.
Yeah, Flip and Phil, who did like Tiffany. I think We're Alone Now, and Pastance, What a Feeling. So
fantastic.
It's a bit of old school, a bit of clubland, like a lot of party anthems. So it's a party event.
This is what a time to do it as well, just before Christmas. This is the kind of gig that everybody should be doing at this time of year, to kick back and go crazy a bit, because we've been tied down for too long, haven't we?
Yeah. And it's what we used to do at the arena tours years ago, but now we're doing it on a smaller scale in the nightclubs. It's a bit more interpersonal,
That's great. That would be a crazy night. How can people get tickets for it? Because they're going to sell out, surely to goodness.
They can either pay on the door. The best way is there's a website address, if I can give you that, Alan.
Of course you can.
The website address is Powerhouse Nightclub.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
Awesome. PowerhouseNightclub.co.uk. Dead easy. And the gig is on when? Remind us all.
It's this Friday, so not long.
Oh, blimey, this week. So start ringing around your pals. Make sure that you tell everybody you're not going to be in any time early. You're going to be there till 4 a.m, and it's going to be a blast. Powerhouse 30th.
It's a great lineup, Alan.
It's
normally
incredible.
When people put events on like this, you might have 1 or 2 like DJs or singers. We've got 4 on. So
brilliant. No, it's fantastic. And I mean, all of the people that you've listed have a track record of incredible work. So,
like Ian Van Dahl sold over 100 million tracks,
I
you
know,
know, because
amazing.
he was massive all over the world. So, and they're all anthems. And what I've noticed, Alan, is Newcastle, we are a party city, and if you remember, about 30 years ago, we were 4th best party destination in the world. Remember?
Yeah, well,
about 30 years ago.
We've never stopped telling people that as well. That's the thing.
I know, exactly, it's the same, isn't it? But I think the music in the last few years, it was drifting towards, you know, not so, you know, more cooler music. But since, what I've noticed is since lockdown, I'm the resident teacher at Stack in Newcastle, and the music's gone back to what we do well. We play party, sing along, happy songs. You know, we're a party city, Alan. That's what we do well.
No, but I do think what you've said is absolutely true. That a lot of the new music, and some of it's good, and some of it really isn't. But the thing that I've noticed is that people just want a good time, and good time in the back of your mind isn't dancing to what's in the charts now. Even it's all of those memories that
songs,
absolutely it's retro's come back big style, and the music scene's all the better for it, because quite frankly, to try and keep a dance floor with what's being made at the moment's probably quite a hard job, I would have thought. But
and another
come
thing
back
I've
with the
noticed, Alan, as
classics.
well, is like, even when I chat to the young ones, they're like, how do you know these songs? And they're like, oh, my parents play it in the house. They know the anthems, the 70s or 80s or 90s or the clubland stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. The good times are back.
Yeah, but I also think that in new clubs, a lot of the music mixes that have classic hits in them. Also, every third advert on the television's a classic tune these days, it seems. So there's lots of ways that you can hear them. That's if you don't hear them in a movie or in a TV show.
Well, actually, Alan, I've just been to the cinema tonight. I won't mention the name, but the current big movie at the moment, the soundtrack, it's got like all 80s on and sing-along anthems, and it's you'll know the movie I'm on about. I've just been to the Gate tonight, and it's been fantastic, the movie I've seen.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But hey, let's make sure the Powerhouse this Friday is absolutely packed till 4 in the morning. It's going to be a blitzing gig. All of those superstars. And all you got to do is rally your crew together, get yourself down there and have the wildest night leading up to Christmas that there's going to be. Powerhouse, happy 30th anniversary and congratulations, Phil. All the best to you, mate.
Thank you, Alan. Take care.
No problem. Bye-bye. There you go. Old school. Great entertainment, live DJs, the business sounds good. And Bradley from S Club 7. Worth going there just for Bradley, I would have thought. There you go. 0191 488 3188. And why not? Let your hair down just a bit. Let's crack on. Our next call, Rinra, is Malcolm. And Blamey's in Otterburn. Hello, Malcolm.
Hello.
Is Otterburn still standing?
We are, yes. We've had a tiny bit of wind.
I bet. I mean, are you not buried under snow as we speak?
No, I haven't got that much.
No, you're all right then, champion. I mean,
we've just got a scraping.
Has the storm had any other impact on you then?
Well, I took the electric off on Friday night about 9:30.
Oh, blame! Is it back?
Come on, about dinner time of the day.
Right. So what did you do in the meantime, though? That's all day Saturday and all Saturday night with no power.
Exactly.
So what did you do? You're going to have to talk to your partner.
Partner, I haven't got one.
Oh, well, that was all the better. So, so what did you do with yourself, though? How did you entertain yourself then, Malk?
Well, I just good luck. I slept on the done a bit more. I was at work yesterday.
Oh, you were at work? Well, that filled a bit of time in for you anyway. Then you get back home and you read a book by candlelight. Is that what you were doing?
Read a book? I was just sorting music.
In the dark?
Well, no, I tried to do it in the daylight.
Right. And so what did you succeed in doing then? I mean, how has the house changed? Did you build an extension? What did you do?
Nick, I was just sorting me. Just left everything.
You were
trying to do things in daylight.
Yeah, but what was it you were trying to do? I mean, what did you achieve with your?
Well, I've just set the washing machine away now, like in the night.
In other words, it took you 36 hours just to get your underpants off the floor. So that's what that's all about. Typical bloke.
Probably.
Typical bloke. But I'm glad it's back for you, Malcolm. And let's hope it doesn't hit you again.
How
did you eat though?
Friday night till half. Yeah.
I know, but
I'm diabetic. So I had to keep didn't do me blood comes from me.
Right.
Ever since it hasn't been the easiest.
How did you cook? How did you cook food though? Because you can't even if all of the power's off in the village, you can't even get a takeaway in or anything. How did you feed yourself?
All the pubs were shut.
Well, no. So how did you feed yourself?
Well, looking, it flashed about 9 o'clock.
Right.
Electric.
It flashed.
It flashed the light. I hurriedly put some in the microwave and I microwave done it defrost.
Get a quick ding before it went off again.
I had Morrison's just the other day.
Right.
Luckily, I had a chicken in the fridge. I yanked it out and started tackling the way it
It's been an adventure anyway for you, Malcolm.
Oh, it certainly has. And then to start earlier in the week, I went to Morpeth.
Right.
No, lo and behold, I tried to ring 0191 488 3188.
Uh-huh.
No, it was probably our other station.
No, that's still my number. Uh-huh.
Aye. And there was a bus fire in Morpeth. No, it's not been mentioned on any news.
A bus fire?
Yes.
It wasn't you trying to warm your hands after spending all that time with no power, was it?
No.
Right. Did you see it?
Yes, I witnessed this in Morpeth on Wednesday.
Wow.
Lunchtime.
Whereabouts was it? In the bus station?
Aye, in the bus station.
All right.
A minibus fire.
Right. Now, well, hey, you've told the world now, thank heavens.
But it's not been on any news on like traffic and travel or no.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of the radio stations around the country now, especially around the north, aren't even based in the north. Some of them. So actually, that's the reason you don't get local stories. It's sad. Hey, but Malcolm, lovely talking to you. Thank you very much for coming on. Great to hear from you, man.
Well, there was a bus fire and all the commotion in the middle of Morpeth on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like
I heard. The world should know.
I don't know how you get a hold of anybody now.
It's a really good question. I'm not sure that. I'm not even sure for local stories whether people bother. That's the tragedy of it all. But lovely to hear from you. Thank you for coming on, Malcolm. There, he's had no electric for 2 days. The lights flashed. He lobbed his chicken in the microwave, and he sounds all right for it. We got a third clue coming in precisely 10 minutes' time. We are Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. We love all of that. We also, of course, have a fabulous breakfast show in the morning if you stay with us and try and win some money on our cash register. A lot of people have been doing that, and they've been doing pretty damn well. Fortune to be made if you play your cards right. So check that out. In the meantime, let's have another one of our greatest hits, and this time from a threesome that we adore, known as Genesis.
Is Andrew Brown there? Andrew, what's your name? Give me a name. Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Did you fight here, Bruce?
Whispering's weird.
It is.
Yeah, that's spooky. That's quite spooky.
It is.
Why are you whispering?
Risk it. Risk what?
Risk it.
Risk what? Risk what? Risk what? In fact, the thing that I think I'll do here, I'll try, see if the ghost detector can
That's a good idea.
pull something off.
So I think there's something in here. For some reason.
I might try for the rods as well.
People are asking in chat for the rods as well, so.
There's something in here.
Kenny, can you nip across and bring the rods?
Yeah.
They're just on the table next to the box.
There's definitely something in here.
Right. Listen. What the hell? I thought it was my shadow.
In the window.
Something moved past the window. Come down there. No spirits detected. Something moved past the window. I thought it was, you know when you move out and you see your own shadow?
Yeah.
I thought it was that. No spirits detected. Nothing here. It claims let's try again, further down here. Presence detected. Hang on. Let's see where it is. It claims the message is coming. Where is it? From which direction? From a joyful spirit. Whoa. Spirit detected in that corner. Can you knock the torch off?
In that corner.
Yeah. More. Take less liberties. Take less liberties. More. We're in an armory. Take less liberties you can. So we're taking liberties with the spirits here.
Right.
I don't think we are. We're here out of respect.
I said that before.
And I was up the top and they said no spirits detected. You come down here.
There is.
And they say there's something in this corner. And if you know, up there was reasonably warm.
Yeah.
In here it's cold in general. Stand there.
Oh, take an icy blast.
Exactly right.
It is an icy blast in here. Oh, I've got your rods.
Oh, you got the rods. Thank you, right?
Yeah.
Let's give this a try then.
Is that the music box going off?
That's the music box, isn't it?
I thought it was. I thought I heard it there.
So did I. Shall we go across and do it on the other side?
I'll have a look with this camera. I'm sure I heard it.
Yeah, go for it, Ken.
Yeah, I'll have a look with this one.
In fact, I might do it over here. What do you think? Right. For those of you that know, these are copper, and you have a circular movement, so you can turn them around. It doesn't move the rods at all. The rods will move of their own volition, and there's no way you can influence them. You can't, like, unless you move your arms about. Let us see how they work today. So, as you can see, you've got to keep your hands away from the top part. Whoops, let's start them again. It's already skittish. I can feel that one on the left particularly. Is there any spirits here? Is there any spirits here? If there are, make the rods cross. I think that's fairly conclusive. Now, just had an awful pain in my thumb. What the hell? Wow. I'll not use my thumbs. Don't need my thumbs. Whoa. If there's one spirit here, make the rods cross. Are there two spirits here? This one's already in the negative. You can see it's shaking its head. Are there three spirits here? Are there more than three spirits here? Yeah. Yeah. If you're all soldiers' spirits, make the rods cross. Oh, that's interesting. Are there any women here? Yeah. Yeah. Make it cross if there are any children here. Whoa.
That was a definite.
That's a definite as
Definite.
well. So there's women and children here. I think I can explain that as well. Right. Did the people who haunt this place, did you die here? Interesting. So you died somewhere other than here? Yeah. Did one of you die here? No. Oh, that's cold. Hang on. Something cold's just moved past me. I felt something move past me there. You know if you're in a corridor and somebody moves past you fast? It was just like that. Well, that was strange, right?
I do feel like there's cold air like whisking around now,
Yeah.
isn't there? There's not a window open or anything.
No, but there's stuff moving here.
All the windows are locked.
Call Alan Robson's Night Owls now.
0191 488 3188.
This is real life conversation with the voice of the North.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Alan Robson with you. Thanks for joining us. Got some more greatest hits and time for your third clue. Have you worked out whose hits they are that we're looking for? Clue number one. Any of the Kardashian daughters could be described as this. What's the name of that song? Second clue. Detectives who are self-employed. What song answers that? Third clue. If a lion or a tiger has killed a person, they are described as this. If a lion or a tiger has killed a person, they're described as this. That is also a song title, and it's clue number 3. Now, if you can only work out one answer, look down the list of hits by that artist and work out what these answers are. That's how you do it. So if you can, wait for the fourth clue. You'll get that in about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you can give us a call. Now, just before I dive across to Julie, who I think is somewhere in County Durham, I received this a little bit earlier. Alan, I'm not sure if, I beg your pardon, this is written to Hollywood McShane. I'm not sure if Alan Robson is aware of this, but my good friend George Elliott, a fellow DJ, is in his final days of life at the Marie Curie Hospice in Elsick in Newcastle. When he was a youngster in Scotswood, he was given the opportunity to train under Alan and learn the ropes as a DJ, and it had a lasting effect on him. I hope Alan may remember him. I love George Elliott. I knew him for a number of years, and he's an absolute diamond of a gentleman. And he says, George's last thoughts were to try and raise as much money for the Daft as a Brush cancer care charity, right up until the palliative care drugs rendered him unable. Since then, his wife, Holly Elliott, has bravely carried on work for this charity. If you could in any way publicise his charity or send out a thanks to the brilliant Marie Curie nurses and staff, it would mean a lot to me, Holly, and all of George's friends. Well, help Daft as a Brush as best you can. George was just a gentleman at the time that I knew him, and I'm sure that didn't change. I'm sure he's the same now. And if I am in that vicinity, no. I've just written down, must go and visit George Elliott. He passed away last Sunday, apparently. No. Oh, that is awful. Just literally, because I'm only here once a week, I don't often get my emails here until I come in. And that is awful. Oh my goodness, what a damn shame. George will be remembered with love everywhere. Everybody that knew him will never forget George. He was very special. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. So best we can do is support Daft as a Brush, as he would wish us to do that. Oh no, that hurt the heart. I loved George. He was a special fella. 0191 488 3188. Let's get some calls on and talk about stuff. We've got Julie next. Hello, Julie.
Hello, Alan.
Hello there. What are you talking about tonight, Julie?
Well, we've been here for 35 hours without electricity power.
Do you know why? What's happened? Is it trees knocked
no,
your power
I
lines
don't
off?
really know exactly what the fault is, but
Right.
it's so worrying. You know, I'm a diabetic.
Oh, blame me. Right.
I live on my own.
Uh-huh.
The only heat I've got is the candles I'm burning in my home.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And the response I'm getting back from Power Gen is not.
Right. I mean, is there no way you can get hold of an oil gas fire, an oil fire from somewhere?
I've got my family's in the same boat. They live in the village where I live.
Right.
I've got about 30 odd candles burning. It's freezing cold.
It is bitter night.
And how, in the 21st century, I know we've had a bad storm.
Yeah.
But 30 odd hours.
That's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all.
You can't heat anything up.
No.
There has been somebody at the door tonight at 7 o'clock with some hot soup. But
how have you been managing? What have you been eating then, Julie?
Well, I've just had the odd sandwich and nibbles. That's all.
Right.
And I know that my sugar levels is quite high because
Yeah.
I've been nibbling on things that I shouldn't have been nibbling on.
Sure.
I worry about. I'm on benefits. I worry about the little bit of stuff that I've got in my freezer.
Yeah, sure.
I just can't believe that this happens in
this day and age. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's taken so long. Usually when there's a power cut, even if the power lines have been knocked down, it's a couple of hours usually before
I've never experienced power cut like this in the whole time I've lived here.
No, I received an email just about 2 or 3 hours ago from the power grid saying For those of you that haven't got any power, we're doing everything that we can down here. Well, it sounds like it's patently not enough if you're for 36 hours.
Well, it is a long time, you know.
Absolutely. And if there was an area like that, surely they should send wagons with hot food for people. Just basics.
Like I say, the local community centre came around at 7 o'clock tonight with
soup.
But what about these families that's got babies and but had to go out the way and go and stay with relatives? It's not.
That's not good. And also, I don't care how many candles you might light. That's not warming your house up.
No.
I bet you're under your quilt. Are you not under your quilt, just staying warm?
I am. It's perishing.
I bet.
And
Believe
it's just like it's
not
unbelievable.
It's just not acceptable, Julie. Not at all.
And I'm supposed to be under the priority. So,
can you not ring the power people and say, look, I'm at risk?
I've rang and you are just left on hold for hours.
Right.
I've had a text message to say that possibly it may come on through the night, but it may be later on tomorrow.
So that's 2 whole days then?
Yes, and I've got, like I say, I'm on benefits.
Mm-hmm.
I live on my own.
Yeah.
I've got me little bit of things in the freezer. And what's going to happen to that? How am I, how do I replace that?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I mean, with the temperature that it is, I'm not sure how much defrosting is going to go on, but let's hope that it stays cold enough for you to be able to keep it.
Exactly. It wouldn't be so bad if it was in the summer.
Yeah.
You've got the light nights.
Sure.
And
the warm nights, but it's -1 or 2 where you are at the present moment, Julie. So just try and stay as warm as you can. Get your head down.
Well, it's very difficult.
I know. I don't doubt it. But
and I dread to think of the time in the olden days when they had to live like this, because it's hard.
It is, but it is absolutely that. Julie, thank you very much for calling. Horrific. Any tips? Should everybody have an oil heater? Most people that say, in case I need a little bit of extra heating, they've got something electrical that needs plugging in. Well, if you haven't got any power, what do? I remember heaters that you would light, like oil heaters that you would light. They always stunk, but at least they gave you a little bit of warmth. I don't think people have them anymore. Not since me parents were alive, I'm saying. 0191 488 3188. You're 10 minutes away from your 4th clue. So get ready. You're going to be calling in for that very, very soon. Talking about things we mentioned a little bit earlier on. We were talking about toys, and I said, what kind of toys do girls have?
I went for hers one day, and she got a little toys with that, and she was doing what women do with it, and she goes, you have a go as one of them rabbits,
Oh, right, yeah.
So, it would have been easy operating the space shuttle there. there was red buttons, there was green buttons, it was going fast, it was going slow. Honestly, it would have been easy riding a JCB,
But the thing is, how can you compete? You look at yours and you think it's got none of that.
Oh, I was the first time I was intimidated by a bit of plastic in there. And looking there, I felt very inferior that night, I tell you.
So when I was talking about girls' toys, I wasn't quite meaning that, but that's what we got. 0191 488 3188. We talked about pranks as well. We want you ringing in with some of them, but Christine is with us. She's in Wallsend. Hi, Christine.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, my love. What can we do for you tonight?
I've just been asked by Chris to come on the show tonight.
Uh-huh.
His son is doing a fundraising event next weekend.
Oh, brilliant. Where's he at?
Well, he's doing it, I suppose he's having like a fun day in the garden, but with the weather being against us.
Right.
But he's getting dressed up as an elf.
Right.
It's going to be fun. And he's doing he's on a Friday, and he's doing an elf walk for Alzheimer's Society.
Although he's doing the elf walk.
Yeah.
Where does the elf walk to?
Well, he's just walking like around the streets like with the bucket, you know. And, like,
All right. Now, that's great. So we've all got to look out for a huge elf in Wallsend, essentially.
Yeah. He done a memory walk in September.
Right.
For Alzheimer's, and he raised £100.
Ah, that's great. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if people are kindly can equal that or beat it this time around, that'd be great.
It's the first time we've done it, so we don't know what we're doing.
No, absolutely. No, it's fun, though, coming up to Christmas. Fingers crossed. So why is he doing it for the Alzheimer's charity? Is there a family connection?
A neighbour.
A neighbour, right.
I think obviously during the pandemic things got worse, you know. You know, it's hard for, like, during the pandemic where people sort of with Alzheimer's, they couldn't see the family, and it's been hard for them.
Right.
And so I would just, you know, help out. They're doing the research. Obviously, there's no cure for it, but they're doing the research to sort of find out what's causing it and trying to sort of prevent it.
Sure. No,
It could happen to any one of us, so we just sort of thought, well, see, you know, how it goes.
No, absolutely, man. Both of my parents, towards the end, they suffered from it, so it would be lovely to think there'd be some way to break them free of it, because it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing.
It is,
Hey,
yeah.
but thank you very much for coming on, Christine. Sweet of you to do that. Thank you for ringing in, and good luck.
Thank
Watch
you.
out. What's his name?
Callum.
So watch out for Callum the elf. He's going to be in and around Wallsend this Friday. So watch out. He's doing the elf walk. So support him if you can. It's for Alzheimer's. Be lovely if you could chuck some copper in the bucket. That would be good. Thanks a lot very much, Christine. Have a lovely time.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. How nice is that? People doing nice things. Now, talking about toys, we're not always nice to toys. Has Cuddly Ted escaped, or has he not? Ivana, what do you say about the bear?
Save the bear.
Save the bear. Award-winning producer Tony McShane, what do you say?
I'd have to go with the people on Twitter and shred the bear.
No.
Hashtag shred the bear. Can I tell you that we have had hundreds of people trying to save the bear, but we've had more that are actually suggesting that the bear goes the extra yard. So, Tony, you have the bear. Place him in the shredder.
Oh,
Come on.
no.
Oh, no! Poor Ted!
You're shredding the bear.
Oh, his little pink nose has just gone in. One paw left. And it's gone. Oh, dear. Right, I'm going to close the fader from next door. Oh, that was really quite tense, wasn't it? Yeah, the bear was, well, shred and buried, frankly, wasn't he? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you demanded, and we are merely instruments of your will. 0191 488 3188. Let's go to Jarrow. We've got other side of the Tyne to Wallsend, and we'll talk to Kelly this time. Hi, Kelly.
Hiya.
Hello there. What are you talking about?
Hiya.
Hi.
I'm talking about you know, you're on about the presents and that, like what you wanted but you never got.
Yeah, what was yours then?
Well, me and my brother asked for ages and ages for table tennis tables.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now, so we kept putting our pocket money together, trying to save up and that.
Right.
We managed to get the bat and the ball.
Yeah.
Got a net. Kept going on and on. Please, can we have one? Please, can we have one? We never got one. So there's this one day we go upstairs, and my brother unscrewed one of the bedroom doors. We took the handles off.
Right.
Took the handles off, and we couldn't find the net, so we had to we lined a row of books up in the middle,
Right.
put them on the side,
Clever.
and we would like just playing backwards and forwards when Mark comes to the bottom of the stairs. She says, "What are you doing up there?" So we had to tell her what we were doing.
Wait, hard to describe the fact that the door's missing.
She says, your dad's due in from work in 20 minutes. You want to get that back on before he gets in.
Shame. Did you not have someone like it? Because I wanted a table tennis table as well. And my dad says, play it on the coffee table. Well, first of all, you're on your knees, so it's not like table tennis. And also, the coffee table was about 2 foot wide, best. You cannot you cannot play table tennis on things like that, crackers.
So the next best thing was the bedroom
Take
door.
the door off? No, it makes absolute
And
sense.
Another thing, like you had about like the boys' toys and the girls' toys.
Yeah.
Well, I was always a proper tomboy, so I never had any girls' toys. I used to get the boasters, but they never got touched.
Right.
But can you remember them helicopter things? You used to stick. They had like a string, and they used to stick them on your ceiling, and they used to fly around.
Yes. Yes, I do. They were great.
Yeah, well, my brother had like quite a few in his room, and I was always going in and like I'd go in every so often, just take one down and put it in my room.
Right.
And then it took him ages to realise that they weren't even up there anymore.
Right.
He went to bed one night and he's lying there, looked up, and all he heard was, who's been in my room taking all my stuff? And he came in and they were all up on my ceiling.
They had some cool toys back then, though. That were physical toys, not because obviously now everything's on a screen. I think it makes a world of difference to have something big that you can play with, hold in your hand, wind up, stick on the ceiling. Do all of those kind of things instead of just staring at a screen all the time.
Well, see, I'd always asked for a pogo stick, and I actually got one of them, but I couldn't bounce on it hard enough to make a gun.
Why? Why?
I must have been heavy enough. I was only little, and I just couldn't make it. I couldn't make it spring.
So if you sat on a seesaw, you couldn't make it. You could make it see, but you couldn't make it soar.
Oh, I could do that,
right?
But I just didn't have the. I mustn't have had the power in my legs just to bloody.
Right. To pogo. What a shame. What a shame. I always fancied
like a bit of an idiot.
I always fancied a pogo stick. So they're not all that cracked up to be, obviously, if you couldn't get it going. But hey, lovely talking to you, Kelly. Thanks for sharing. Bless you.
Catch you later.
Take it easy. Bye-bye. How good is that? She didn't have the strength to make a pogo stick bounce. Anne's just sent this in. The best toy all of the kids and grandkids played with the most is Lego. Played for hours. My son had a plastic helicopter that you attach to a plastic stick with an elastic band. Played for hours with that too. Cheap as out. He sneaked down one Christmas Eve, put an Evel Knievel together and couldn't dismantle it. Busted. Haha. Nice one. So, and that made me think of another thing. How many of it? This goes back beyond some of the toys we've just been talking about there. It was a cheap toy. If you can imagine an aeroplane propeller, just the propeller. And it was on like a screw thing. Just one stick that was a screw thing. And you had to put the propeller bit on the bottom, and then you put your hand underneath and you pushed the propeller up this screw thing, and when it got to the top, it flew, and you'd go, and then off it went. How many people can remember that? Do you remember the monkeys dancing on a stick? And also, I'm on a roll now. Monkeys dancing on a stick, all of that. And then there was the big bird that drank out of the liquid. All it did was bend over with its beak to a glass of water and then bend back again, and then it would bend down for another drink, but wouldn't actually drink because it was plastic. How many? Oh, and the frogman that you dropped in a glass and it swam to the bottom, and then something happened with the water and air came out of it and it swam back to the top of the surface again. And the fish, the crinkly fish that you would put in your hand to see if you were telling lies. Blimey, come on. How many of them can you... There's a million things that's lost in your memory somewhere. Share a few with us. Just thought of them. If I can do it, you can think of twice as many. 0191 488 3188. We're off to Anfield playing now. Nothing playing about Alison. Hello, Alison.
Hi, Alan. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us. What you got for us then?
Still here with the weather. Well, just talking about Christmas, it's just got me so excited.
Good to
It's
hear.
like it's here, it's coming, and
on
I
its
put all
way.
my lights on the other day,
Uh-huh.
all around the garden because I love decorating the garden.
Right.
Got up yesterday morning and they're all at a 45-degree angle now. So all my conifers are like, you've kind of got to go out and you look a little bit, when you're drunk, it looks perfect. But like, you have to walk out the door and tip your head sideways to kind of get the effect.
I must say, after that wind the other night, I looked out just down the little bit of street that I'm on, and everybody's aerial was in a different direction.
Yeah.
They're all to hell.
A bit
so
of a different angle.
absolutely.
But I think we were very lucky because I really at some point thought the roof's going, the
Yeah.
house is going, the shed's going to be in next door's garden. So yeah, really lucky.
And I
But
must
one
say,
about
there was,
toys-
I'm going to share with you a miracle. And I don't know what strange gift my wife has, but she said, "Don't park the car outside the house. Park it over there at the moment for the bad weather." And I said, "But no, I'll just park it in the same place." I said, "No, park it over there." And I must say, I did give her a bit of a hard time. She said, "No, I'll always park it there." She says, "No, just park it over there." And I said, "But it's under the tree, and you'll get all the junk off the tree landing on." And she said, "No, just park it there." And I kind of gritted my teeth and just got on with it, like a good obedient man should do. And the very next morning, there was 2 tails exactly where the car would have been.
Oh my days!
How spooky is that? That's
that's a woman's intuition.
that's witchy, in my opinion. That's witchy.
Yeah.
Now the even better news. This is, I shouldn't be saying that, but the best news was it was from the house next door. Result. So what? So in other words, it's not off the roof. Brilliant. We're not going to leak. Fantastic. So sad for them, but
Next door neighbours.
yeah, absolutely.
Just make you smile when you look at your own roof and think, "Oh, all the tiles are in place."
Well, no, but the funniest thing
everybody
was when I picked the tiles up, I saw the woman looking out the window as if to say, "His tiles come off." She's got no idea. Wait till it rains.
Take them back.
Wait till it rains. I've placed them in a place where she's able to get to them. So time will tell. Anyway, that's what's called being a good neighbour, I don't think. Anyway, right, well, yeah. Crack on.
And on about games and things like that, like all them little things you want about, the little fish that you hold in your hands, they were brilliant.
They were great, and you never
hours.
see them now, do you, though?
You still get them in crackers.
Can you?
Some last year.
Oh, the only stuff I've seen in crack. I must buy cheaper crackers than you because I tend to get little plastic notes, little compasses. When did you last use a compass? And jacks sometimes.
Comb.
Yeah, oh, no, it's just no.
Oh, good. But we were on today on about like and how you used to play when you were younger.
Yeah.
Like I loved Connect 4 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But today I was with my daughter Tyler and we went into Smith's because one of her friends has got a daughter who's it's a 4 birthday coming up.
All right.
And wandering around and we got so excited because we saw the deluxe version of Jumanji.
Oh, hello.
And picked it up and we were like, oh, it takes batteries. It must do something. So we read it for ages on the back thinking, and then we were like, can't move the pieces. It can't move the pieces. And then when we read it all, we realized it didn't move the pieces and we were so disappointed.
Yeah, well, you weren't really expecting rhinoceroses to run through your living room while you were playing it, though, surely.
Like virtual reality, surely they should be able to like do a projection or something. It was £50.
Oh, boom! That's expensive. Yeah.
It's like, even though that the temptation was there, like we were like, we need this in our life because we play games at Christmas. We've got no little ones now, so
no, it's great.
Play games at Christmas and all the oldies come out. So apart from our new one, which is Odds Against Humanity, which is just the funniest game.
What is it? Explain.
Basically, it's really bad. It shows you how bad you are. You get a card, and then all the cards are like politically incorrect things, and
right.
Somebody reads out a question, and you have to answer it with one of the cards that you've got, and the worst one So it's a proper cringe game, and it's a proper one where you find out really what dark humour have.
Right. So, I mean, this is, when we say politically incorrect, that's what it is all the way through.
Just wrong on so many levels, but it's so funny, and it just makes you laugh, and it's really good if you play with old relatives that are just so disgusted by what you see. It's hilarious.
And what's it called? Against Humanity.
It's Odds Against Humanity.
Against Humanity.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's all the things that you shouldn't see. It's funny.
It sounds great. The thing that I've noticed, though, even in some of the cheaper shops, like the cheaper supermarket shops, the Home Bargains and Lidl, B&M, some of the board games are still 30 and 40, 50 pounds. I can't get my head around that for a board game.
Afford Christmas?
Crazy prices.
Really don't, because looking around what we were looking at today in Smith's, a doll that just opens its eyes. That's all it does. It's like 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Just think how people have got 2 or 3 children. Like mine used to have a pile
of presents
of plastic things to play with.
Yeah, but they were all cheap and cheerful. But they
all
loved
cheap
them.
and cheerful.
Yeah.
But now it's like one toy is a massive financial pullout. I feel really sorry for people with young kids who can't explain that can't have that. I think it must be really, really difficult for them.
I saw in one of these, the magazines that some shops give out, and they said coming next Thursday you can have the following, and there was one in it. It was like kids' toys, and they were essentially a little pulley train thing, a little garage, but plastic stuff. And it was, and it said you could get different sets of it. If you got all of the sets, it was really expensive, but you could buy them all individually. And they want you to buy them individually because once you've got one, you're going to have to get the next one and the next one and the next one. That's the plan. But it was prices between £49 and £216.
Great.
And you think, for plastic things that clip together, I can't justify it in £216. What? Crazy.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It's
but
like
you
people
see,
don't earn that now, do they?
No, and if you're going to do that, and I know a lot of people I want loads of presents for the Vane, and it's natural instinct because that's what we wanted when we were kids. We wanted loads of presents. It's just I don't know how you people will be paying that off till June, July, August next year. No question about it.
Lucky all mine are older now and they get handmade presents and things that they should be grateful for.
You should do what my Uncle Bill. My Uncle Bill gave me a £5 note from when I was about 9, and just before he died, when I was certainly a lot older than 9, about 20, 30 years later, I was still getting £5 in an envelope and really loving the fact that it was kind of. He's been all those years. I've had a £5 every year, and what I would buy him is some Old Spice back, which was usually about £6.50 at the time. So
you lost your £1.50.
Yeah, a little bit, but I still love the fact that he bothered.
It's just nice. I think some traditions are nice to keep traditions, isn't it? It's like mine. There's always 4 things that they have at Christmas, and that's they have a puzzle to play with on Christmas Day, and that might be just like a £1 kind of little puzzle, a gadget that they can put on a key ring or do something, some smellies and some sweets.
Perfect.
They always know they're getting them 4 things.
Lovely.
And everybody, adult and child, gets them.
Do you do the stocking thing?
Oh, we don't. We've never ever done the stocking thing.
Because I think the stocking thing's harder to do now than it's ever been. When I was little, it was like an orange and an apple, some hazelnuts, chestnuts, and things you had to hit with a hammer. There'd be some little bags of like dolly mixtures, little sweetie kind of things, and they'd normally put one of the smaller presents, cheapy, in there, so you had something to open. And now you kind of do that because you put an apple in, the kids will just look at you and go, what? What you trying to say? I just think the whole stocking thing's just it's a tough ask now.
I don't know whether I ever told you about the year that I got forgotten at Christmas.
No, what happened?
It's a sad tale.
Make us cry
Really
then.
bad.
Come on, Ali.
Yeah, it was really bad. My children were about 6 and 8,
Right.
and I divorced.
Right.
And we were literally like, whole family come to my house because I was the one with 2 kids.
Right.
Before Christmas, about a month before Christmas, I'd needed some money for something. So my mum had said, "There's some money. That's your Christmas present."
Right.
I was like, okay. So it gets to Christmas morning, and the year that the family decided that the adults weren't going to get presents, children were going to get the presents,
right,
rather than the adults. But
Yeah.
I was the only one with children. Everybody else had children.
Right.
But I was the only one. I'd just gotten divorced. I had my 2 kids who everybody came to the house, aunties, uncles, grandmas, granddads, my mum, my sister, everybody, and they were all handing out their presents to each other and handing the presents to the kids, and they all sat down and somebody just said, "Don't get her anything off the kids." Everybody kind of went, "No, I didn't get her anything off the kids." And then they all had their pile in front of them, and I was sat on a chair, and I didn't have one present.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Oh my God! Did they not say, "Look, have one of mine"? There's some chocolates or
One of
something.
the kids gave me a box of Maltesers.
Oh,
Give me one of their boxes of
what a
Maltesers. It was
shame.
heart-wrenching. It was heart-wrenching.
No, because I'm sorry, but at Christmas you want to open something.
I didn't have anything.
Oh, blimey, that's
I
awful.
even, do you know what, just to rub it in even further as well, my ex-husband came because I always used to invite him on Christmas morning.
Right.
All the family had decided that because he'd left now, him a present, he wasn't classed as the adult who had the who wasn't getting the present.
What a
So as he
cheek.
walked in, he got a bag full.
That is
He
shocking.
bought me any.
What you should have done, you should have said, "Well, hang on."
Should have spit in it.
No, I was thinking, hey, come on, we're divorced now. Half of that's mine. Would have been a thought. Oh, that's shocking. No, that's not funny at all. Oh,
But that was
bless.
a long time ago, and trust me, they have never forget.
No, they've never been allowed to forget it, I think is the key there.
And sometimes now I buy myself a little present just in case they do.
No, but I absolutely think in some cases, I know there's a couple of couples that have said to me, "Oh, I just buy my own present and she buys her own," and you think, that's not the daftest thing in the world, is it?
Not when it's coming out the same pot, and it's like it's hard to buy for people now because people just go out, and it's not like once over where you would wait for Christmas for something special. You just kind of
you get it in the year if you want it badly enough.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Quickly go. Something you were talking about earlier about the donation cards.
Yes.
Law brought out in May this last year, 2020. It's called Maxim Kira's Law.
Right.
What it is now is you have to opt out.
Gotcha.
Organ donor.
Right.
So
everybody's in.
If you're eligible when you pass away, your organs will be donated unless your family opt out. So just fingers crossed for that little girl, and just
must be
sad
heartbreaking.
way to
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker, isn't it?
Loads of love. And
absolutely.
Hopefully a little miracle comes along for her.
That's what we're banking on. Thank you very much, Alison. Great to hear from you.
Take care, Alan.
Thanks, love. Bye-bye. She's great. 0191 488 3188. Fourth clue. Blame me. I always say I'm going to do it about 20 past. Never get there. Clue number 1. Any of the Kardashian daughters could be described as this. What's the name of that greatest hit? Second clue. Detectives who are self-employed. What is the name of that greatest hit? Third clue. If a lion or a tiger kills a person, they're described as this. What's the name of that hit? And the fourth clue, this means a phrase, something you refuse to do. This means something you refuse to do. You've got 4 clues. Whose hits? Call Chris right now on 0191 488 3188. This song's great. There's an old joke about the man who walks into the pub with a set of jump leads around his neck, and the barman says, "Hey, hope you're not going to be starting something."
Cool. Hang on. Something cool has just moved past me. I felt something move past me there. You know if you're in a corridor and somebody moves past you fast? It was just like that. Well, that was strange, right?
I do feel like there's cold air like whisking around now,
Yeah.
isn't there? There's not a window open or anything.
No, but there's stuff moving here.
All the windows are locked. Shut.
Maybe shut up. To the spirit that's just moved past me, are you a man? Are you a child? Are you a woman? Hello. Yep, you're a woman. Is that Kenny?
Yeah.
Was it going off?
I don't know. Walked around there.
Something's just, you can feel the air moving around in here.
Right. It's freezing.
But the thing that I think we should do is, we'll use the rods more later.
Right.
I think we should go to the mortuary.
Right. Okay.
Let's do the mortuary right
You
now.
take a doll, maybe just one.
Take one of them. You take care.
Yeah, I'll leave the camera on Gwen.
Okay. Because they won't carry you.
I'll leave the recorder next to Gwen.
I've got the key. That looks like a castle. And this is Megan's keys. And I think she must be a bit of an ice skater, I'm guessing. Which part of Canada does she come from? That's probably it. Right. Where's the castle key? It's that one. Yeah. No, just finding the right key. Got it? Yeah, that's good. Yes. Got it. Right, let's head out.
Is there anyone up those stairs yet?
Say again?
Can we check out the stairs upstairs or not? Up here.
Let's have a look at them. Yeah.
No.
Not yet, we'll do that later. Let's move it first. Nice. And this is lit. So let's put that, leave that there. The lights, she said, behind the bridge.
There we are.
Super.
Oh, it is.
Isn't that something in a Da Vinci Code about that picture of the Last Supper?
Yeah.
There is something, but I can't remember what.
Mary's on the side of him.
That's right. It's a woman, isn't it?
Mary's, it's meant to be the 12 disciples.
Yeah.
But Mary's apparently the one opposite him.
Yeah. Because Mary, that's definitely a woman, isn't it? That one.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like a woman on there.
That looks like
Isn't
a
he?
woman. Yeah, he does.
This is the morgue.
It's the mortuary.
Mortuary.
It's very bright now, you don't need your torch.
Right. Yeah.
Tony, just go and have a look in there. We'll do some stuff in here.
You know, this is the mortuary. What about in here?
I just can't get the lights off as a thing.
Lots of. Yeah, it's a bit bright. Maybe on the seat then.
just too nice. The whole place would have been used as a mortuary.
Yeah, well, we'll go in the dark bit then, I guess.
Just be this bit.
It's lovely.
But if you want to come here for a coffee and a tea,
beautiful.
And a shortbread.
Oh, give me one now.
Oh, love it.
Just looking along the roof here. Treacle fudge,
Oh.
orange fudge, maple fudge, cherry bakewell fudge. That's enough fudge for
You
anyone.
can come here during the day, can't you?
You need to split the stream now.
Pastries.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, I just want to get started.
Well, mate, well, it's around now, so at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely no. Let's do it. We're gonna do the cemetery. We're gonna do the haunted bridge. We are gonna keep an eye, obviously, on the main building. Here, we're gonna set off the necromancer to see what we get in here. We got an amazing story of what this building was used for and how it was used.
Crazy. As soon as we just put it down in here.
Because this is where an awful lot went on. If you want to find out what happened here, how did they do it, Tony?
If you're on Facebook, just become a supporter, and the second half will start in a few minutes' time. And on YouTube, it'll be available in a few minutes' time. So I'll just join the channel, and you'll get all the supporter stuff and the debrief and everything like that.
And immediately we will tell you what went on here. We've got some amazing stories, including one horrific. And I mean, genuinely horrific. I'm talking
again
26,000 deaths
with Alan
of men, women, and
You
children.
never know who's going to call next.
The people who were here. And so not very many of you getting this competition right. Any of the Kardashian daughters could be described as this. Second clue, detectives who are self-employed. What are they called? Third clue, if a lion or tiger kills a person, they're described as what? And the fourth clue, something you refuse to do. That's what this song title means. Something you refuse to do. 4 big songs. Name the band if you can. We got Steve next. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Alan.
Hello, Mitch. What are you talking about tonight?
Well, I was on a little while ago. I told you I lost my wife and I scattered her ashes in old water.
That's right. I remember that.
Well, I've came to the conclusion that I've sat alone for too long. It's 4 years now.
Right.
I've decided to join this dating thing.
Oh, right. How'd you get on?
Where I'd actually sort of psyched myself up to message this lass who was in my own town.
Right, yeah.
And I waited. I got a message back saying, yeah, I'm sorry, Steve, I'm with somebody now. And then 5 minutes later, I come up there, she's sitting in a bar with this fella. I thought, you know, what do I do?
Yeah.
Hey, I thought you were an expert at charming the ladies.
Hey, you don't ever say to a man who's been divorced as often as I have that they're an expert. Obviously, the reverse is closer to the truth. But the thing is, don't expect you're gonna, get a coconut every time. You're gonna try a bit first. So don't be too downhearted with it.
I just felt a bit good when I see the picture of us sitting in a bar with a bloke.
Yeah, it's not great. And why she still got her profile up there if she's with somebody?
Well, I do know. She says I'm busy talking to somebody at the moment, and then when I looked, the picture came up, she's sitting in a pub talking with them with a glass of wine,
and I know, and she'll be laughing at the fact that there's somebody there. You see how popular I am. Oh no, that's not good.
And I thought, oh, she's just my type, she's only 2 years younger than what have you,
Right, that's good. That's perfect.
But no, not to be.
Next time, mate. Next time, Steve.
Anyway, Alan, what do you think of the lockdown? Do you think it's going to come or not?
I'm saying it's not, because I'm not sure the people would be. It's not even a question of happy about it. I'm not sure they'd take it, because there's already been protests and all kinds of things. So I don't think so. I think we'll probably end up having to wear masks again, but I think everything else will go ahead as best it can. Steve, I'm going to leave you there just so I can get somebody else on. Thanks for calling.
Okay, then,
cheers,
Alan.
man. Bye-bye. Michelle is with us too. Hi, Michelle. Are you out there in the dark? Hello, Michelle.
Hello, darling. How are you doing?
Very, very well. Dive in. What you got for us all tonight?
Well, a couple of things. The first one was Christmas presents you were asking about.
Yes.
Well, one of mine, I was very upset with my mum because she played a trick on us when I was little. Because what I asked for was a new baby. I wanted preferably a sister, but a brother would have done. I had a brother already, you see.
Right.
So on Christmas Day, after I'd opened all my presents, she comes in with this bundle wrapped in a blanket for us, and I was so excited thinking I was getting me baby. Gets a bloody baby doll, doesn't it?
Oh, no.
I was mortified. I cried for nearly the whole day. I wasn't impressed at all. Even though apparently it made crying noises and it would drink a bottle and everything, I was not impressed. I
No.
broke my little heart.
No, what a shame.
I got so excited. But the next one is so funny, bless him. My daughter-in-law's cousin's got little boys about 4.
Right.
And they spent the other day putting the Christmas tree up and putting all the decorations up.
Lovely.
Again. So excited for Santa coming.
Yeah.
And the next morning he kicked off something rotten because Santa hadn't been.
Oh, but he thought he was going to be the trees up or Santa's coming now. Oh.
He thought Santa was coming. Oh, and bless him, the next morning he couldn't understand why Santa hadn't been.
Oh, nightmare.
It took her ages to try and explain and calm him down, bless him.
So how old is he?
4.
Oh, bless. Oh, bless.
Little Lennon, bless him, and he's so cute and adorable.
Yeah, now that makes it even worse that you've upset him. But then again,
Exactly, I
hopefully
know.
when Christmas happens, because I think 4's probably the first year they really start to get it.
At the start to understand, yeah.
I would have thought. So what are you doing for Christmas? Are you all sorted, Michelle?
I've got a few prezzies in, but I go to my daughter's most years. I'll be doing that again this year. I've got two sons and a daughter and 3 grandchildren, and they'll all be there, and my mum and dad. So that
Sounds
be
good.
fun.
No, it sounds
We
good.
always play games after Christmas dinner, so it'll be good fun.
So, and what games are we talking about here? Are we talking the board game type?
We do whatever. If the kids have got new games, we'll have a go at that. But we'll play the daft, put a name on your head.
Oh, all right. Yeah, like charades and stuff.
Silly charades and silly things. And
Oh, that's good, though. Isn't that great?
Just stuff that makes people have a good laugh.
No,
Makes you look
absolutely.
stupid.
Because my sister left the family to become a nun, and she was
remember that,
she was
yeah.
away for about 10 years, and that meant I was raised kind of like an only child. And my parents didn't play any of the games that they bought me, and they wouldn't let me play out with anybody on Christmas Day.
Oh, that's
so
sad.
you're stuck there. You got all these games to play, and there's nobody to play with. And I remember once I got sent magnetic football, and it was.
Oh.
And I was playing both sides. It's impossible to play both sides.
Oh, they played the beauty on your own.
No,
as
it's
well.
not. You can't do it. You can't do it at all.
No, well, when we grew up, me and my brother, we lived all over the world because my dad was in the army.
Oh, right.
So when we came back to Newcastle, I would have been about 11. So I'm an adopted Geordie as far as it goes. I was born in Singapore.
I will take you.
But when we come back up here, Christmas was always fabulous. It was like Christmas morning with my mum and dad, then we'd have my grandma and granda come over, then my nana and granda, then my great grandma and granda, then it would be aunties and uncles. It was like an ever flow of people coming to the house and giving us presents.
I know, lovely.
Fabulous.
Lovely. But you see, there's a lot to be said for that old-fashioned stuff, because now it's like, I can't be bothered to go up there, or I'll send a present. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more of that, and that's very good. We've lost a lot over the years.
I like for my grandparents because they've still got like lots of grandparents and great grandparents, so it's lovely for them to see them all on the one day and have everybody there. It's lovely.
No, there's an education there. We should all learn from that. Michelle, going to take my leave of you, but thank you very much again. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye
love.
now.
Bye. Hey, we've had some tremendous calls tonight. Thank you very much for being those. For those, there's about 25 people waiting to try and get on as well. So our apologies for that. Got a piece of music for you, which is stunning to bring the show pretty much to an end, except for the reveal of who's going to be victorious, which means you have about 3.5 minutes to solve this. Any of the Kardashians' daughters could be described as this song title. Detectives who are self-employed could be this song title. If a lion or a tiger has killed a person, they're described as this. And this means something you refuse to do. Whose hits were they?